For nearly 10 years, HalfPriceSchools.com has helped families from all over Chicagoland make the dream of private school a reality. And that can be the reality for you and your child, too. Just go to HalfPriceSchools.com, search for a private Christian school near you, and purchase a voucher. It's that easy. Visit HalfPriceSchools.com. That's HalfPriceSchools.com.
As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
If you're a local business and ready for the next step, visit SurroundChicago.com right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Visit SurroundChicago.com today.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training. We'll arm you with what really counts: knowledge and training. All concealed carry curriculums are not created equal. This may be the single most important decision you'll ever make for yourself and your loved ones. Choose between 3 and 16-hour classes that are available both weekdays and weekends. We are your one-stop for concealed carry classes, fingerprints, and legal defense plans.
Register for a class today and get 10% off class fees with promo code AM560. Visit IllinoisConcealedCarry.com. That's IllinoisConcealedCarry.com.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded. AM560, The Answer.
Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back to this week's edition of Black and Right Radio with John Anthony. I'm back. Missed you guys last week, but was down in Springfield. We did God's Job down in Springfield last week. I believe we fed close to over 1,500 to 2,000 people in the days that we were down there with the Grace Association. We're getting ready to start a free school down there. I believe it's K through 12. And it was so heartbreaking to listen to some of the parents, talking about how they didn't know what to do with their kids, and, the kids are not learning anything, and, a lot of the kids not going to school because, education just doesn't interest their kids. It broke my heart. It really broke my heart listening to some of those stories. And we have elected officials who are not really concerned about our kids' education today. They're concerned about an education, but not reading, writing, arithmetic. And that's in my opinion, that's just really sad. The people that were in that community of Springfield were 90-some% black. And you had all these white people that are down there trying to help bring good quality education. I thought I was going to get a little pushback. You hear a little pushback. You know how it is. White people coming to save the day in a place like Springfield, but you heard none of that. These people are so desperate to bring something that's life-giving to their community that they were all for it. And just want to give a shout out to my pastor, Randy Bland, who and his wife Karen Bland, who are really, they could be out vacationing. They could be on retirement, no longer preaching, but they've dug in their heels to help as many kids as possible. And it's not about skin color. That's one of the things that I'm really excited about. I want to address something else too. I filled in for Dan Proft on the morning show, and we interviewed Mike Boss, Congressman Mike Boss, and some of Darren Bailey's people were upset about that. Well, let me start off first by saying it was supposed to be an interview of Mike Boss and Darren Bailey. I don't know what happened as to Amy had me reach out to Mike Boss. I did. I brought him on. I know Mike Boss. I served with Mike Boss.
Let my people go!
There he is. I served with him. He was my seatmate. He was my office mate. I never once said in that interview or during that interview with Mike Boss that Darren Bailey should not run for the 12th congressional district. I said I wish he had run for the 13th and 7th or the 17th congressional district. And here's why. In my mind, that was a compliment because I think Darren Bailey has such a name recognition that I believe he could have probably took out the person that's occupying the 13th and the 17th because Darren Bailey had a lot of support in that area. I would love to see what the number breakdown was in the 13th and 17th and in his run for governor. But I have I was getting so many messages. Well, why you do that? Well, because I can't. First of all, because I can. I don't work for any campaign. Please know that. I'm a radio host. I bring on people to elicit news, who have news, who are newsworthy. I bring those people on to have a conversation with them. I don't attack people. And I think I've made that pretty clear. So if you're upset that I brought Mike Boss on to be interviewed, that's not my problem. That's your problem. And yes, and I feel that way strongly, wholeheartedly, and I'm not backing down from that. Darren Bailey is a darn good man, a darn good, decent man, and I would never intentionally leave Darren Bailey out. It's not my show, first of all. Darren Bailey, those of you in his campaign, he's more than welcome to come on this show to be interviewed for his run in the 12th. And I'll say again, I do wish he would run in the 13th or the 17th. And that's a compliment of who he is and what he can, of the mass people that he's gathered when he ran for state rep, when he ran for state senator, and when he ran for governor. What say you, Troublemaker?
I agree with everything you're saying, except for I don't have the inside baseball when it comes to where he should run or who he should run against. I was hearing that Mike Boss voted a lot with the Democrats, and you know how it goes in our party. If you're not pure enough, somebody's going to primary you. So I don't know him. You do. You served with him. I'm familiar with Darren Bailey now since the last campaign, but like I say, I don't know enough to say what he should run for. I'm pretty sure both of them are good people. Whoever wins, will be better for it. And that's all I really have to say about that.
Well, first of all, good job last week with you and the Pie Dot.
Oh, thank you.
You guys did really well in my absence. I don't just open up this seat for anybody.
Right? Yeah. Well, I tried to embody my inner Amy Jacobson. Because the Pie Doc, man, I mean, he had it laid out from start to finish. So he embodied Dan Proft, and I did my Amy. So I hope I did good enough.
Yeah, I heard you. I think I heard you telling George you didn't do your Troublemaker last week.
No, because he had the show. I mean, he had it laid out, man. So you know what? And I've been there. Somebody's at the door.
He came in. I didn't realize it.
Oh, cool. So like I say, I've been there. I remember when I had a folder and I had all my issues laid out, and it was my first time on with Ricky, a full show, not just, a segment or something.
Right.
And he looked at me like, huh. And he said, I don't know what you did all that for. He said, I just take a couple of issues and we go at it. I'm like, wait a minute. And then every time I tried to put in one of my issues, he would say, and he'd take a caller or anything just to fuss with me.
Right.
So I'm not the type of person to step on anybody's toes. So I know I had that feeling before, and I wanted him to do the show the way he wanted to do it.
Right. Yeah, that's good. I should also mention today is my 23rd wedding anniversary. 23 whole long years, Valon.
Wow, that's cool.
23. He went around. I think he went around. 23 whole years, Valon. Wow. Woo. That's a long time. Marriage ain't easy, man. Let me tell you.
You ain't gonna tell me. I made it 26.
Okay, Vlad. There's been so much that has happened. Yeah, so much.
That's true.
We got that the cousin of that French actor.
Oh,
did you hear about the cousin of that French actor?
Yeah, I heard about it.
What was his name? Is Juicy Smollett?
Yeah.
So Carlisa Smollett, is that her name? I mean, Carly. Dude, what the heck, Villan?
I don't know, man. These false claims. I don't know.
I mean, she wanted to make her boyfriend jealous. I mean, you're hearing all type of reports come out. She saw a baby. Brandon Tatum had a good one because, you know, I've been out there on those roads. You just drive. You've been doing 50, 55.
Yeah.
How is she going to see a baby going that fast?
I don't know.
And see a baby out and then, Villan, have we become that as a society?
Yep.
Where people are looking for, because I went to her Twitter account, Instagram account, and somebody made a very important point. They said this is what she was looking for because her comments are still open, and she's still taking comments on a lot of her different photos and things of that she's posted on Instagram. What in the world is happening in our society when an individual feels like they have to do that? And then wait. I think that a lot of people are missing about all this. The police went and they had her entire Google search history.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about that, Villan. They knew everything that she looked up. They knew everything that she searched for. I mean, looking up the movie Taken. Help me, man. I'm lost. I'm confused. I'm not confused. I'm confussed about this.
It's very simple. We live in an attention-seeking times. People just seek attention, whether it's bad or whether it's good, and they don't understand the consequences.
Yeah.
You know, because I was reading a story and watching a story about this woman. I think it's on Court TV. This woman, she's basically faked her kidnapping, and they're harping on it, but yet that takes away from a real crime.
Right.
A real crime happened.
All those resources.
It was a real crime that happened. That this young girl was kidnapped.
Yeah.
And some people saw this note I don't know how she wrote the note, but it was like, help me. That's it. Just help me. And people got the license plates, and the police caught the guy from potential sex trafficking or whatever else harm this guy wanted to do to this woman.
Right.
But yet you got this other woman faking her kidnapping because she wanted to be with her other boyfriend.
Right.
And the boyfriend doesn't want to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it because, you know, you don't want to besmirch the woman nowadays.
But you know what? I mean, we got a lot of stuff to talk about because when you're off for a whole week, you sit and you got to stew through all the news that's happening. I want us to get into this Jason Aldean song when we get back.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Today I was watching a game show and the winner introduced his beautiful wife. The woman had a facial deformity, but you could tell he meant what he said. It's hurtful that my husband never sees my inner beauty. Gosh, why would you be writing to Dear Abby? Are you telling me things didn't work out?
How could you be married for 41 years and he never tells you you're beautiful? I mean, make it up or lie if you have to.
Maybe he feels that's like a patriarchal construct.
Start your day with Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday mornings starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
Well, I've been taking it for some time. We saw the ad, and we thought we would give it a try. And I noticed after the first month, we had more energy, and we just felt better. I told my doctor, too, and she said, this sounds like a really good, healthy product for you to be taking. We plan to take it for life.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. For a limited time this summer, get $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fruits and veggies travel set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Dr. Gorka here, and I want to talk to you for a minute about the 100% drug-free Relief Factor. We all deal with aches and pains in our day-to-day lives, and I have had my fair share, including injuries like a detached quad muscle that I can tell you fell into the category of really bad pain. But I've been able to manage the pain by taking Relief Factor. It helps your own body to attack and fight off sources of inflammation, the source of most of our aches and pains, and I've loved it for years. years now. Almost 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it worked for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick starter pack for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com, call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference.
Turbulent times call for clear-headed insight. That's hard to come by these days, especially on TV. That's where we come in. The new Salem News Channel, the greatest collection of conservative minds, all in one place. Home to the people you trust. Dennis Prager, Mike Gallagher, Sebastian Gorka, and more. Refreshingly honest, always unfiltered. Streaming free on your TV 24/7. Intelligent analysis for intelligent people. Find what you're looking for at snc.tv. That's snc.tv.
You can't live forever, but your legacy can. For over 185 years, families have trusted Catholic Cemeteries of Chicago, with 47 locations throughout Cook and Lake counties, to set their legacies in stone. A prepaid cemetery plan locks in today's prices and safeguards against rising inflation. Visit CatholicCemeteryChicago.org or call 708-236-5490 to schedule a free consultation today.
Let's get it to him, baby girl. Hey. That's right.
Black and Right continues on AM 560. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and White Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the troublemaker. And you know what? I'm upset with him because he fooled me. He tricked me. The prosecutor, Dennis Revelletti, is
You
here.
ain't black.
You know, I sent him a text, hey, can you come in? He goes, oh, no, I can call in. You got me, prosecutor.
I got you.
You
but
got
I'm
me.
Always happy to be back here.
I appreciate it. Now, I've been seeing all this controversy with Jason Aldean. And it's a little song that he came up with called Try That in the Small Town. Hafzadeh, can you roll that audio? Because I don't have anything up here to do it. And then I want to get you guys' take on it. Go, roll it. Try That in the Small Town by Jason.
Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think it's tough. Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road.
All right. I want to ask both of you. I heard nothing about a race. I just heard something about somebody saying, you try what they try in the big city in a small town. Black people are not born in small towns?
There's some.
Huh? No, and why is it the first thing people go to is that he's talking about black people? And who was it that immediately went to, this is racist because this song is all about black people?
Who? Because I didn't hear the
leftists.
Oh, of course. I
these-
thought you meant somebody specific.
No.
Well, I have to tell you, John, I heard this song a few weeks ago. And when I first heard it, I was waiting for the cancel culture. They're just a little bit late to the game. So I think CMT obviously brought it to light to everybody. And so everybody can make their own personal judgment. But it's amazing what people are supposed to be conjuring up,
right? And
what the media wants you to think about who's living in what town, who's doing what to whom, who lives where, because the fact that that there are so many different folks that live in small towns, to believe that it's only white people that live in a small town is completely asinine.
Hey, is Robbins a small town?
Robbins is an extremely small town.
Is East St. Louis a small town?
Very small town.
But then who predominantly lives in those communities?
Well, those are black communities.
Oh, okay.
But again, you're supposed to go back to rural, I guess, I don't know, Oklahoma or...
Oh, there it is.
But as I drive my son back to Tallahassee in a few weeks, we drive down through Alabama. There's a lot of rural small black towns.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And rural Oklahoma is full of a lot of now Latinos now.
Right. So, again, who's conjuring up what?
Yeah.
Well, you asked us, what did we think of the song?
Yeah.
He's no Garth Brooks, but he's pretty good. I mean, it's
I
up
like
to
Jason.
date. It's up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know.
But Villan, why is it though? But see, this is the mindset of the left. This is the mindset of the progressives. They always have to be talking about black people. Now, prosecutor,
Maybe there's not white liberals living in a small town.
Right. I was about to
Maybe
say.
that's the issue.
Now, you prosecuted white people from Wilmington, white people from Braidwood, right? Am I right or wrong?
And Joliet, different counties all over.
I'm talking about those small towns.
Peatone.
Yeah. Yeah, because you were prosecuting
Moni.
Will County.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's plenty of small towns.
No, it wasn't just all. It's mostly white people from those communities.
That's
correct?
right. Manhattan, sure.
Oh, yeah. This is what I mean. This is how we miss the key points to these arguments. You know what I mean? It's always when we cry wolf or whatever that cry, the Chicken Little, racism and everything. We miss the real moments of racism.
That's true.
When it's actually a racist act.
That's true.
And most of this racism comes from the left.
Yeah.
It doesn't come from the right.
Listen, I go into all kinds of suburbs, all kinds of white communities. I'll always get treated great. I mean, no, unless you out there acting a fool or talking stupid, you don't get treated any kind of wrong way. You know, I was just before I forget, I was just yesterday in Lisle, and I was at Boss Dogs. I told him I was gonna say it when I come on the show. I had a fire and ice hot dog, a 3-cheese chili dog.
Oh, that's good. That was a good one.
Boss fries.
Yes.
And you know what? I think except for Stephanie, I was the only black person there. I think other than
store,
Stephanie,
not in Lisle.
Well, I didn't. Well, I'm pretty sure it's other black people in Lisle.
Oh
but
yeah,
I
a lot
didn't.
of people.
But I didn't see any. But guess what? Everybody was nice. Everybody was eating, smiling, happy to be there because it's a good business, a good place to be.
And good
Right.
food.
Well, you weren't there
Good food.
looking at. You weren't busy counting how many black people
No.
were there or Asians were there. No, you went there to go have a hot dog. Right?
Yes, I did,
That's it.
and I had a good hot dog too.
And I'm still waiting for them to come up with the John Anthony hot dog, black and white hot dog. I don't know what it is. Stephanie, get on it. Let's go. I'm serious. I really want it. But I'm just.
Oh
I
man,
keep saying-
you just said it. When people look for trouble,
Right.
And this is the attention-seeking generation that we're living in now.
And-
Rush Limbaugh used to say, "The see me generation." I
Right.
just want you to see me. I don't care what for. See me.
Right. But see, Villan, what I've said this on this show. I haven't said it in a while. But if we don't fight in this culture war, I don't care what you're trying to do politically. None of it will happen. Because the culture war is running the day right now. And they're using politics to win it. And we have so many. I don't know. You probably missed me talking about the Darren Bailey incident with some of his people being upset with me that I interviewed Mike Boss on the morning show. And I simply said, listen, I don't work for anybody's campaign. And I saw it, and I talked about this, Rebeletti. I saw this as I was talking more of, this was, in my opinion, my mind, this was an encouraging thing that I was saying about Darren Bailey, because I thought he had the name identification to run in the 13th or the 17th. Specifically in the 17th, I think Esther Joy King came really close to winning the seat. And think about the fight. Sorensen, who's the congressman there, is he the first openly gay congressman from Illinois?
Maybe.
Right. And against Darren Bailey. That's the fight. That's the culture war.
I want to just ask Dennis, what do you think? Do you think Darren Bailey should be taking on this guy?
Well, here, it's a primary. So would I prefer that Mike Boss, who is a friend of mine and I support, has a primary? No. Does Illinois benefit from the chairman of the VA?
Right.
Chairman of the VA.
Right.
Illinois has a lot of veterans. Would you prefer another freshman congressman, or would you prefer a veteran congressman who also is a veteran who has traveled the world and is looking out for our nation's veterans? I don't understand what you pick up and what you win down there, but maybe Darren's playing the long game and waiting. When does Mike Boss retire and he keeps his name up?
Right.
That could be a play too, but it doesn't. I don't understand the dynamic there. And I mean, why would Darren want to do it? But if Darren wants to be congressman, he can do it. But I would discourage him. Everybody supported him up here in DuPage. We tried to help him win, but taking out a veteran congressman that can do more for the state than less doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
What about what I said earlier about I was hearing that Boss voted with the Democrats pretty often.
What's pretty often though? I don't even really know what that means. Mike Boss and I go way back. In the General Assembly, he was extremely conservative. He's considered very conservative in Congress, except he's pragmatic.
Right.
And so he's still somebody who works with, understands his district,
right,
takes care of his district, cares about Illinois, but is also, as VA chair, just got back from Belgium and Normandy because the VA is in charge of all the museums and the cemeteries around the world.
Yeah.
And he was making sure that all those are being updated and cared for.
Okay.
So is he a conservative vote? Yes.
Yes.
Is he Freedom Caucus where you can't
No.
speak to him? No.
Okay.
So he is somebody that is an active congressman who I think provides the most leadership we have in the state of Illinois at this point.
But what do you say about my thoughts about? I'm looking at this as a plus for Darren Bailey to run.
If Darren runs, he's going to keep his name ID up. I don't think Darren wins. You saw the core poll.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that. Mike is already up 6 points. He's down in Darren's area, but Southern Illinois is dominated by Mike. And the NRCC is going to come in with whatever it takes.
And Trump possibly.
And my understanding is, and I hear all the rumors you guys do, but my understanding is that Trump is going to endorse Boss.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah. He's endorsed him the last 3 times.
Correct.
So,
wow.
Again, I never said Darren Bailey should not run. Never said
either.
that.
No.
Never said that. This is America. You want to run against somebody? Go ahead, do it.
Timing is everything, John.
I just believe he could take out somebody in the 13th and the 17th, and I stand on that, Darren Bailey. I really believe that much in you. We'll be right back.
What we know already about the current vice president. I mean, would you feel comfortable her being a heartbeat away?
The idea that we would limit the right to the access to birth control is something I would strongly.
You have gender-affirming programs that allow a child to pretend to be a sex that they are not against the parents' wishes.
We are uniquely generous. American immigration policy.
Well, it's very generous when it's applied illegally.
Join the Beyond the Beltway conversation Sunday night from 10 to midnight right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Fox News, I'm Samantha Liepman. The Southwest, including Phoenix, continues to swelter. Day 23 of 110-plus degree temperatures expected to stick around and expand.
38 days there where the temperatures have been 100 degrees or better. When we look long range, now we're looking at the 27th through the 31st. The only place likely to be average or cooler than average is the Pacific Northwest. The heat's going to expand to the north and to the east in the week ahead.
Fox weather meteorologist Craig Herrera have $2 and a dream, and the Mega Millions jackpot rising to an estimated $820 million after no one won the top prize in Friday's night's drawing. According to the lottery, the prize is the 5th largest in the game's history, with an estimated cash value of $422 million before taxes. America is listening to Fox News.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training. We'll arm you with what really counts, knowledge and training. All concealed carry curriculums are not created equal. This may be the single most important decision you'll ever make for yourself and your loved ones. Choose between 3 and 16-hour classes that are available both weekdays and weekends. We are your one-stop for concealed carry classes, fingerprints, and legal defense plans.
Register for a class today and get 10% off class fees with promo code AM560. Visit IllinoisConcealedCarry.com. That's IllinoisConcealedCarry.com.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, commercial property, or even vacant land, let attorney Susan J. Kim step in. She's reliable, responsive, personable, and extremely thorough when helping you deal with an otherwise stressful transaction. Attorney Kim leads with her values and is committed to providing legal services with excellence. To contact Attorney Kim, visit sjkimlaw.com. That's sjkimlaw.com. Whether it's drafting agreements, negotiating contract terms, or closing on a property, Attorney Susan J. Kim can do it all. Over 10 years of experience and her wealth of knowledge tackling complicated legal negotiations and breaking them down into a smooth, easy-to-understand process is what she does best. So let attorney Susan J. Kim step in. To schedule your legal consultation today, visit sjkimlaw.com. That's sjkimlaw.com or call 847-906-3166. Susan J. Kim Attorney at Law is a state of Illinois licensed real estate attorney.
Do you know the number one complaint homeowners have about remodeling? How long it takes. Rick here from Forever Remodeling. Home remodels that were supposed to take weeks often stretch out to months, or even up to a year. That's because many remodelers bite off more than they can chew. They take on too many jobs, they get spread too thin, and you end up frustrated, waiting an eternity for your project to get done. Call Forever Remodeling instead. From start to finish, we show your remodel the attention it deserves. We limit the number of jobs we do at one time. This lets us dedicate ourselves to getting your project done on schedule while delivering a result that's better than you imagined. For a free consultation, call Forever Remodeling at 847-809-3355 or visit foreverremodeling.com. We do kitchens, baths, basements, additions, and more. That's the number 4everremodeling.com.
Back to Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back to Black and White Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony. Live in studio with the troublemaker and the prosecutor. Okay, prosecutor, you got to help me. I know how you feel about Donald Trump, but what I want to know, after 2 years, you want to try to now tie Trump to the January 6th insurrection in a conspiratorial way, correct?
Correct.
How is this going to fly?
Well, again, they're in front of a grand jury. They're going to say that his words orchestrated everything, and he did not say in a timely fashion not to go to the Capitol and do violence. And so they'll say that it's like yelling fire in a crowded movie theater. So his speech is violence, and he incited a riot, and they'll use a RICO statute or some type of other conspiracy, and they'll indict him. I don't know who indicts him first, if it's the D.C. grand jury or if Fulton County can do their RICO act on him as well. So I anticipate by the time the primaries actually start, or when you're in Iowa or New Hampshire, he'll be under 4 different jurisdictions' indictments.
Okay, I have nothing, so I can't play the audio, but I actually played the audio. Twitter had taken that audio down. Twitter said, he said on Twitter, go to the Capitol and peaceably. Now, those were his words. So, and do you realize nobody really knew that he said that? Because Twitter and all the social media shut all of that off and down on January 6th. So what he actually said and what they're trying to prosecute him for, they don't jive. So how Now, you don't think, I mean, in a grand jury, I mean, anybody, you can indict anything. You know, what's the favorite saying? You can indict a ham sandwich.
Right.
Sandwich. But you don't think you're going to get, if it goes to trial, you can't see you can't see doubt creeping into a juror there?
I'd have to read the indictments. I don't really understand how you would do it, how you could prove it. He didn't say go grab the torches and run off to burn the Capitol and get in and do everything. So we'll have to see what they come up with. It's the same thing with Fulton County. It all goes back to he made phone calls. They're going to say it's election interference, and all it's going to continue to do, regardless, is strengthen him in the Republican primary.
Correct. It is strengthening him.
What is? It's strengthening him, even to the point where the average voter who does not favor Trump at this point goes, "This is absurd.
Yeah.
This is insane. How could you even do this? We are the most powerful nation, and we are a free nation, and we're now acting like a banana republic." Right.
Well, the court, somebody already tried to take him to court, and they knocked it down. The judge knocked it down. The direction that they're gonna try to go in is the fake electors. Right now in Michigan, they're trying the fake electors, and they're gonna try to take that federal. Whereas though they're gonna try to tie him to some kind of conspiracy for fake electors to try to nullify the vote. So that's what he has in his back pocket that he's going to try him on. I don't know how they're going to tie him directly to it, but they're going to try.
Villan, prosecutor, the reason why they're trying to tie him to January 6th, what does the 14th Amendment do, prosecutor, as it relates to Donald Trump ever run or trying to run even in this election?
Well,
that's what they're after.
They are. They want to. First of all, they want to tie his hands, and they want him to be in court more than on the campaign trail. And they would prefer that he be convicted, and then make the argument if you're eligible, if you're in custody, or if you're convicted, if he can even run.
Right.
We talked.
Wait, hold on. This is what the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment says that no person who has engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the United States can serve in federal office. That's basically what they're after.
We talked about it a year ago.
We did.
We read the whole thing.
We did. And that's what they're really after.
Right. So if he were to win, but he was convicted of insurrection, then they would say he's ineligible to take the office.
Was that as insurrection is defined, prosecutor, was that an insurrection?
I don't believe it to be an insurrection. Nobody was trying to take over the United States government.
What just happened in France, was that an insurrection?
I would.
Did you notice what was happening there?
I did. I wouldn't know if even that's an insurrection. Those are
they
major
had weapons.
riots.
They had weapons to trying to take
riots.
over.
Antifa should be indicted.
That should be an
insurrection.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's just this simple. No one out of 300 people that they tried and convicted, no one was convicted of insurrection. Not one person.
Correct.
So how are you going to convict Donald Trump of insurrection when you couldn't even convict the people that were in the building that you said raised all this hell?
Well, it's the same way they're going to try to convict him in New York when you make stuff up and say it's all part of a conspiracy to get around other criminal statutes. And so here we go. They're actually making up charges at this point.
Exactly.
You're really making them up. And these are charges of first impression, and the courts are going to have a heyday with this stuff. And so I guess we'll wait and see what happens. The rumor is the first week of August is when Fulton County is going to indict him because
on racketeering. Come on,
right, on a RICO charge.
What does that comprise of? I mean, how?
Meaning he conspired with
conspired with other actors down in with the Secretary of State or whomever down there to move the numbers around. Remember, he called down there to say, "Hey, can you find votes?"
Right.
You know how many times people have called different political organizations?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what precincts have reported?
Yep.
Are those numbers in? Where are these numbers coming from? So they have a better idea of what the outcome looks like.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean what he did was a criminal act.
Exactly. Kelvin Eduardo Mitchell, Jim, hold the line. I didn't even know he had calls. My bad. Forgive me. My bad, dog. You listen to the Black and White Radio on AM 560 The Answer. We'll be right back.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I love it very much because I do notice if I don't take it on a regular basis, I have less energy because I'm always on the road driving and I take care of people's dogs, so I expend a lot of energy all the time. I do feel a difference. And I'm always telling everybody about take Balance of Nature, take Balance of Nature. And the fiber and spice is really great. You know, sometimes when you're on the road all the time and you don't eat right and stuff, I take that and it's wonderful. It's very good.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
As a family-owned business, your complete satisfaction means the world to the McGrath Automotive Group. Everyone and everything at all of the locations are dedicated to making the McGrath experience your best experience. Whether you're looking to buy a new vehicle, in for service, or just taking a test drive, McGrath Automotive Group will always give you the personal attention you deserve. Visit one of their dealerships today in person or online at gomcgrath.com. Service, value, reputation. That's the power of McGrath.
What does it mean to be pro-life? Picture women living in a welcoming, family-like setting during and after an unexpected pregnancy, going to school or working, learning life skills. Picture a caring Christian staff who walk through these challenges, providing support and guidance. Picture a community of faith-filled supporters who answer the call to support life. That's pro-life at Redeeming Life's Maternity Home Ministry. We are a Christian organization founded to support pregnant women in unexpected pregnancies by offering a home, help, and hope during pregnancy and up to a year postpartum. We are opening a maternity home in suburban Chicago in 2023 and welcome you to learn more about how you can support God's gift of life by supporting women who courageously choose life for their unborn babies. Visit rlom.org for info and opportunities to help furnish this new maternity house and provide a home, help, and hope. Get involved to support life. Visit rlom.org today.
Hi, this is Carl Amari.
I'm Lisa Wolf. Join us every Saturday night beginning at 8 p.m. for all things entertainment on Hollywood 360.
If you love classic radio shows, The Shadow, Jack Benny, The Lone Ranger, Dragnet, Gunsmoke, and many more, we have them for you on Hollywood 360.
We'll also present trivia contests with prizes, showbiz news, celebrity interviews, games, and movie reviews.
So don't miss Hollywood 360 every Saturday night beginning at 8 p.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560, The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the troublemaker and the prosecutor. Let's go straight to the phone lines. Jim from Chicago. What's up, brother? Jimmy, you there? Thanks for holding, brother. Jim. All right, I'm going to call you Cream Puff Jim. You better get on this line, Cream Puff.
Today, Junior?
All right, we'll hold the line for Jim. Jim, let's go to Jim from South Elgin, also a sponsor of this show. What's up, brother? Best Dental.
Well, yes, sir. Good show and good topics. You know, I think we should try to get some of these state's attorneys in conservative states like Florida, Indiana, to maybe have them sharpen their pencils and let's start doing the same jab back to these people. Because, you know, if this goes unopposed, they're going to keep on building up and doing this more and more. We got to sit there and fight back, use the same tools that they're using against us or against these people. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think you're going to start seeing more prevalent upon the citizens this type of three-letter alphabets coming after people. I mean, we know they did it, and the Barack Obama administration. I mean, other administrations have done it, but not to the degree that the Obama administration. Would I be wrong in saying that? And how they use the three-letter alphabets to come after people?
No, I would say I've never seen it like this before. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go to Mitchell from Des Plaines. What's up, Mitch? Daddy-O? You there? Daddy-O, you there? I guess nobody wants to talk to us today. I guess they say
they got you on hold, man. They put us on hold, man.
Let's go to Eduardo from Tampa Bay. Eduardo.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got loud and clear. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so the Sunny Hostin, she should be more concerned why we funded the Wuhan Institute, which President Biden is cutting the cord on.
Yeah.
It's about time. In her city in New York, I saw this on Daily Mail, they had 3 leapers. These are senior citizens. Suicide, mental, probably didn't have any connection with anybody, no social life or anything like that. All this produced through COVID shutdowns. That should be on her radar.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and she sounds so vitriolic. I mean, every time she talks about anybody that's on the right, it's like you don't have no friends. Listen. If I only had friends who were Republicans or conservatives, I would have a very boring life. I like that I have friends that challenge my thought and challenge how I believe. You know, like a lot of people may not like this, but I'm not a nobody but Trump guy. Listen, I want Donald Trump. Everybody that listens to the show knows I'm 1,000% behind Donald Trump. But should he not get it, whoever gets it is better than what we have in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue right now. So I don't get it. Thanks so much for calling us, Eduardo, while he's in Tampa Bay. Let's go to Kelvin. Kelvin, you still out? You're not back yet, are you?
Yeah, I'm back and coming in hot. How y'all doing?
What's up, brother?
Hello.
What's going on?
Man, I had a good vacation, man, so I'm back and ready to get work. I just got two quick comments. One on so-called insurrection. I think what the left is trying to do is to make us prove what we were not doing versus people should know what we were doing. They were trying to get the electorals eliminated because they had a senator on deck to agree with the objection.
Right.
If they got it, get both candidates under the electoral number, no one has a majority, the 12th Amendment is activated. That's what all of that was about. That's why they was there. That's what they were hoping for. So we're not getting that narrative out to the point where we're on defense saying, oh, no, it wasn't an insurrection. We wasn't doing this. We wasn't. It's so much wasn't, and nobody's really explaining what we were doing.
Right.
And we were challenging them because of the disparity there. Second point was on the song. I love the song. Try it in a small town. Then that's a nice warning to people, man, to say, don't mess around and find out, because when you start crossing values, then, we all Americans. We got different type of values. But all of us got, that's what a community is about.
Right.
And the last thing I'll say, as far as the primaries, hey, listen, conservatives, we acting like we the champs or something. We getting mopped out here. Nobody, as far as I'm concerned, should be safe. Nobody should be above a primary. We got a supermajority. We got smoked in the last election. We are getting killed out here. So for us to say, oh, well, let's protect this guy or that guy, it's nothing wrong with a great primary. Let the best man win. Let the constituents who show up. Because, I got to go with the troublemaker on this, and I didn't understand why he was so mad. But when I looked up what he said, we came within 500,000 votes of getting a governor in there with only 8% of the people showing up. So come on, man, we got to come to the polls, and we got to, run these elections right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you, Calvin. Calvin.
But to that point, John, if you're going to primary somebody, Calvin, you should do so because you disagree with their voting, disagree with their values. They're inconsistent with the district. And going back to the Mike Boston, the 12th district, Darren Bailey, I don't know where Mike Boston and him are different. Mike hasn't lost for governor. Darren has. Mike has represented Southern Illinois for a long time as a state rep and now a congressman, and his values are consistent with Southern Illinois values, and he votes for Southern Illinois. So Darren running, great. He has every right to do so.
Every right.
Every right to do so. But if you're going to run, have a reason to run, not because I'm just going to keep my name out there for whatever reason. He's going to try to run to the right of Mike, and I don't know how many people actually exist that could do that actually have a true record of that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing I'll say to that, because I am going to primary a guy. And it's not because I got up and said it. It's because the people need to speak.
Right.
If the people got around and said, hey, Darren, run, and he got enough support for that, then he should.
Yeah.
Same with me, because sometimes, the voting records are out there, and I understand that people could do a job, but somebody may be able to do a better job.
Right.
But it's not for us to encourage or discourage. It's for the people. It's we the people. If that people in that district want to support him, then let them speak.
Right.
It should be at the
Kevin,
polls,
we got to go to break, but I want to say this really quickly. The person that you're going after, he was appointed. That's a big difference.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with that at all. So thanks so much for calling us, Kelvin. It was great to hang out with you last week as well.
Oh,
Listen to We'll be right back.
One of the most important decisions you can make as a parent is where you send your kids to school. But these days, it's never been harder to know which school is best. Public schools have changed a lot, and you might be thinking about sending your child to a private Christian school. But you also know that private school can be expensive, and in this economy, you might think it's not an option. Well, think again. With halfpriceschools.com, you can purchase tuition vouchers for half the price of normal tuition for private schools. For nearly 10 years, halfpriceschools.com has helped families from all over Chicagoland make the dream of private school a reality. And that can be the reality for you and your child, too. Just go to halfpriceschools.com, search for a private Christian school near you, and purchase a voucher. It's that easy. Visit halfpriceschools.com. That's halfpriceschools.com.
Here's something you've never heard before.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from Simply Safe Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced Home Security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents, expert advice.
And there's number 4.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the troublemaker and the prosecutor. Prosecutor, remember I was telling you about Trump and actually what he actually said prior to everybody going over to the Capitol. Not only what he said. Well, let's play what he said first, and I got something else to follow up with that.
Sure.
Roll it off, Daddy.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections.
So, I mean, there it is, right there. Those were his words.
If that's all they have, it will not pass judicial review. If that's it.
Well, who knows? Depending who is reviewing
That's
what.
true.
What if it's in D.C., it's going to be different than if it's in South Florida.
Correct.
But again, if that's what they have, I don't know what other text messages went back and forth. I'm sure they have those, emails, other Facebook posts, whatever, as to how all these other folks coordinated and why did they actually begin to enter the Capitol. That's what I don't understand.
Right.
I don't get that part. So you could have easily made a statement by simply standing outside and making your voices heard, but they chose to go inside, and once they breached, then the entire mission.
Well, depending on what side you were on. I have friends that were there. It depended on what side you were. Some sides, the Capitol Police was removing the barriers, allowing people to go in. Mm-hmm. Then you had that one side where they were breaking out. Now, those people who did that deserve to go to jail.
Right.
And then you had, Christopher Wray, come on, you and I both know this, Rebeletti, when he started talking about were there any assets from the FBI on the ground. We all know that they were there.
They were all there.
Come on. There's a certain person, I won't say his name because he's suing everybody that says his name, telling people, tomorrow we're going to go into the Capitol. Who is this guy? Is he one of those assets?
Supposedly he was indicted recently.
Right. I saw that.
But again, a pretend indictment.
But who was he?
Right.
And then you hear everybody booing him. Oh, boo, no, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
Fed.
Yeah, Fed. And then you had this one guy, he ran over to the Capitol Police. He says, what are you doing? Are you going to do your job? Are you just going to let them do this? And they were just all standing around.
Even when the police opened the door for him, they should not have went in.
Correct.
I don't know why.
Well, I agree with you there.
They breached the Capitol, but not to breach the Capitol, overthrow the government.
Right. And the shaman,
right?
He was literally escorted by the Capitol Police into the Senate chambers. They escorted him in there.
Right, but we're not allowed to have a different view or opinion of what happened.
Right.
We can only accept what we were told and listen to it and nod your head and say, yeah, we're sorry.
Correct.
But again, this is what their message is that if we're in power, if we lose, we can't lose. We'll try to overthrow the government. When they win, it's okay. You can't question it, even though after every election, the opposing party has gotten up on the congressional floor and the Senate floor and objected to the electors and objected to the state casting their ballots. It's happened here in Illinois. The Democrats have done it. It's happened in other states. So why do we pretend that that's something new? But when Mike Bost or others objected to Trump's loss, that's a standard operating procedure.
2000, 2004, 2016, Democrats all contested the election. They still haven't gotten over Gore Bush. They still haven't gotten over Hillary Clinton. They've contested every election. We contest one, and say exactly about the same thing they've been saying. Oh, we're bad guys. We're traitors to the government. We're traitors to the country. Yeah. It's the hypocrites.
But you've heard,
it's just hypocrites.
You've heard how many times I've played that montage of all of them saying, basically that the election was stolen. Then they were talking about the machines and how you can easily hack the machines.
Yeah.
But they can say that.
Yeah.
But we can't.
Nope.
I mean, what's happening in this country, man? I'm sorry. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis, when we come back, probably later in the segments, I want to talk about the Safety Act and the blueprint for Chicago and the intersection and the head-on collision I think that's coming. That's going to be disastrous for the city of Chicago and its people. You listen to the Black and Right. We'll be right back.
This is Seth Leibson of AM 960 The Patriot for townhall.com. Free speech at our nation's public universities is constrained today, especially for conservatives. That means learning from a diverse range of thought is diminished and removed from academic and intellectual credibility. Earlier this year at Arizona State University, Dennis Prager, Charlie Kirk, and others were invited to speak on the topic of health, wealth, and happiness. 39 professors wrote a public letter condemning Prager and Kirk, claiming Prager, author of Why the Jews, and Kirk were white nationalists. The event did take place, but with tremendous security measures. Then, the two administrators who put the event together were fired. ASU thinks this was all fine, but defamation and punitive consequences for freedom of speech at a public university is not freedom of speech. It is punishment and retribution for speech, and unconstitutional. Dennis and I were fortunate enough to testify to this effect this week before the Arizona legislature. There should be consequences for ASU's deplorable behavior. I'm Seth Leibson.
Publicpolicy.pepperdine.edu. News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560 The Answer. WIND Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com. On the AM 560 mobile app. Tune in, iHeart, and on Odyssey.
A possible smoking gun. I'm Samantha Liebman, Fox News. An unverified document brought to light alleging President Biden and his son Hunter were paid to help get Ukraine's top prosecutor fired. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson has more.
Two IRS whistleblowers testified that both Joe Biden and his son Hunter each received $5 million to get Ukraine's top prosecutor fired when Biden was vice president, and his son was a board member of the same Ukrainian energy company that prosecutor was investigating. These new allegations come from an unclassified FBI document made public by Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley, a document one of the IRS whistleblowers says he was never allowed to see. None of this FBI document can be verified. Some said the same thing about the Steele dossier and other allegations into former President Trump for many years.
The White House says this document has been debunked before. President Biden considers AI a top priority, and some tech companies agreeing to a new set of rules to help limit the dangers of artificial intelligence.
7 major companies investing in artificial intelligence agreed to self-regulate any new rollout of this new technology. Amazon, Google, Meta, which owns Facebook, Microsoft, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Inflection. Now, Microsoft President Brad Smith believes this will be enough to make people feel more comfortable about using AI and will limit abuses. All 7 of the companies agreeing to add watermarks on anything generated by artificial intelligence. Those watermarks would identify which product would make a video or audio, so consumers will not be fooled. The companies agreed to external testing by an expert in the specific fields where AI is being used, with the results being made public, also increasing investment in cybersecurity.
Fox Business Network's Edward Lawrence. President Biden nominating Admiral Lisa Franchetti to lead the Navy. If confirmed, Franchetti would become the first woman to be a Pentagon service chief and the first female member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
The overnight hour, partly cloudy, widely separated thunderstorms, low 66. Variably cloudy tomorrow with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 84. Back at it Monday, partly sunny for that with a high 87. Sunny to partly cloudy on Tuesday, high 88. Hot on Wednesday with clouds and sunshine. Watch for a strong afternoon thunderstorm, high 90. I'm Ruth O'Brien on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround, and when it comes to marketing, consider us your personal Move You Forward company. In a recent study, we found that 53% of local businesses were classified as novices when it came to designing, implementing, and managing their marketing needs. And that's where Salem Surround truly shines. We're a full-service marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing incredibly effective plans to reach your consumers day, night, and everywhere they might be. Let us give you an absolutely free audit of your current marketing and what your competition is doing. Our digital sales and support teams are the best in the industry and deliver customized personal service that's second to none.
If you're a local business and ready for the next step, visit surroundchicago.com right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Visit surroundchicago.com today.
Dennis Prager here. Sue and I mean it when we say dogs are part of our family, and there's nothing like their loyal companionship. So we provide them with Rough Greens, R-U-F-F, because we want them to feel healthy and be with us as long as possible. I know Charlie Kirk feels the same way.
The Pragers and I couldn't agree more. I rely on my trusted furry friend, Mr. Briggs, who's an absolute machine, and he relies on me to provide what's best for him. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black has packed Rough Greens, not a dog food, but a supplement full of vitamins, minerals, digestive enzymes, and omega oils that Mr. Briggs absolutely needs and loves. Trying Rough Greens for your dog just makes sense.
Greetings, Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black here. I'm honored that the Pragers and Charlie trust their dog's health to Rough Green. I'm so confident that Rough Greens can help your dog too that I'm offering you a free Jumpstart trial bag. Just cover the shipping. Yes, dog food is dead food, but it doesn't have to be. Go to ruffgreens.com.
Visit Dennis Prager. Sign up today for an unforgettable experience in Israel this October. Mike Gallagher and I are traveling to the Holy Land on the Stand with Israel tour with our trusted partner, Inspiration Cruises and Tours. This trip of a lifetime to Israel is one you don't want to miss. Register today before it's too late at standwithisraeltour.com, standwithisraeltour.com, or call 855-565-5519. 855-565-5519.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer. Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot, just like the fajita. I write what I live, my life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back. Hour 2 of Black and White Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the Troublemaker and the Prosecutor. If you missed that first hour, head over to 560theanswer.com, download the podcast. If you have not downloaded the podcast, what's wrong with you? Get over there. Download the podcast and let's listen to Black and White Radio wherever you are, because the Prosecutor, everywhere he goes, when he's traveling on the road, guess how he's listening to? Through the podcast.
That's correct. I do.
Through the podcast. And also, while you're at it, head over to blackandwhiteradio.com, blackandwhiteradio.com. Pick up some merch. Stand up, Troublemaker. Even though we're going to get into some stuff with the police, he has on his Black and White Backs the Blue shirt.
Is that because it was free?
No, he paid for it.
No. I bought it. But like I say, John, when it comes to the police and backing the police, is my mic on? Oh, now it's on. But when it comes to the police, and backing the police, I just want a more perfect union when it comes to the police force, because it makes a better citizen.
You're not gonna get perfect in police.
Well, I mean, I said more perfect.
You ain't gonna get that.
See how they, they hold you
You're
to
not
every
gonna
word.
get that.
But you just need a better police force where the people can trust them and vice versa. You can trust the people. You can solve more crimes that way. I just believe you can solve more crimes when people feel free to say, you know what, I need to get in touch with law enforcement because this crime is happening, instead of the no snitch rule that me and you know so much about.
Yeah, it's what's funny is I was reading an article. I don't remember where it was, but they were talking about how I think it was in the blueprint in Mayor Brandon Johnson's blueprint for a better Chicago, where he was talking about more cases of murder solved in the white communities. Well, they don't believe in the no snitch.
Right.
They gonna tell. Right. They gonna tell who. They gonna tell if John committed the murder.
Yeah.
Poo them ain't gonna tell on nobody.
No.
It just ain't gonna happen.
No.
You know, I mean, some of them do it. You know, and they snitch.
But who commits most of the murders? In
black
the city?
people.
No, not black people. Gang members.
Gang members, correct.
They're gang members. So
correct.
gang members aren't going to snitch. They're going to take care of it with street justice.
That's right.
So again, Brandon knows that,
Yeah.
and the aldermen know that. And again, so instead of working towards taking the gangs down and monitoring them and arresting them, because I know you've shared different federal indictments with me, John, about different vice lords, Latin kings, gangster disciples, sects being taken down.
Yeah.
Where's the state on those?
Right.
Where's Anita Alvarez on that?
Right.
Why aren't we passed the RICO statute many years ago? It's been renewed. Why aren't you trying to cut the head off of that monster and instead why are the gang members treated like victims? Even when the former mayor talked about taking away, we talked about the forfeitures of those things.
Right.
Oh no, you're forfeiting all the wrong things. Even though those gang members hide all of their ill-gotten gains with their grandmothers and their aunties and their cousins and everybody else, but we're supposed to pretend that doesn't happen.
Right. Wait, hold on. Like that tweet I sent you with Dan Proft sending out about, remember how they said a certain percentage of people that were locked up, they were in there for...
The lieutenant governor said that she visited somebody in 2019 in custody in Lake County. So I would like to see the actual records from the jail.
Right.
To see when she went there. We could also find out if she was there because she would have had some kind of security detail,
Correct.
I'm assuming, or they would have had some type of something in their regular communications. But she allegedly visited with an inmate who was being held there for stealing a bottle of laundry detergent.
And I remember you that might be what he was arrested for.
Maybe. Let's assume that's the case. And he needs $300 to get out. Does anybody, including the lieutenant governor, ever ask the question, why is he in custody for holding on for stealing one laundry soap, whatever, a jar or a bottle or whatever he was taking? And you know why he was probably there? Because he had 25 other prior convictions for retail theft. It's a felony. They gave him a $3,000, 10% D bond. He didn't have $300.
Right.
And woe was him.
Right.
But let's go back to the big one that you first started talking about, as far as the prosecutors or the politicians using the RICO statute to prosecute these gang members. You know, if they did that, the charge against them will be you're unfairly coming down against minorities, blacks and Latinos, because who are part of the gangs nowadays?
They make up 96% of the gang.
Thank you. So if you use that statute and start locking people up like they were doing in the 90s, they're going to say you're locking up minorities. You're not understanding how they grew up and the problems that they were subjected to growing up, and the reason why they're in the situation that they're in. You just hate minorities. That's going to be the charge.
It seems the Democrats hate minorities because they're the ones that are running these big cities and aren't taking care of these. What do they call them, John? Marginalized communities?
Yeah.
They're marginalized. Well, who's been marginalizing Chicago residents for the last 75 years?
The average person isn't political, Dennis. You know that. They just look at it from a social issue standpoint.
Well, I appreciate that. So how do you stop the violence in Chicago? How do you stop in any major city?
Yeah.
Joliet handles it, right?
Yeah, they do.
Aurora handles it.
Yeah.
The mayor of Aurora does a great job.
They arrest criminals.
Springfield, right? Springfield does it.
Yeah.
Decatur does it. Carbondale does it. So why does Chicago have a problem?
Yeah, because they caught all the criminals.
So
and when I say criminals, I don't like people that actually do steal dish detergent, people that actually steal Pampers and milk for their kids. I'm not talking about those type of people.
Right.
I'm talking about the people that prey on people. You know, Valon, when you look at what Brandon Johnson wants to do with his blueprint for Chicago and the implementation, the full implementation of the Safety Act now. Chicago is in for it.
Tell me.
Because he wants to reimagine policing. That's what he called it. Listen to this. I got it up right here because I brought it up on the morning show. Excuse me. It's so dry in here, right? I brought it up on the morning show. He wants to invest in a holistic approach to public safety that does not rely on the police. You know, our buddy Tyrone Muhammad believes in the same thing.
Okay.
You know, we can't rely on the police. He wants to have a non-CPD response team who can be quickly activated through calling 911 or 288. Brother, what's going to happen with that?
First of all, we already have these peacekeepers.
Right.
I don't know how they're assigned. Like, how do they go out and interact with?
They canvass the neighborhood. I know a lot of people that do it. They canvass the neighborhood.
And how do we know that they are actual interveners?
Right.
They wear a yellow vest.
Right.
They have high vis.
No, listen. I was on the phone with one of my friends while he was doing it, and they do actually go up to people standing on the street corner, and they're from the neighborhood, so they know who's selling drugs.
Okay, but that's not what this is though. These are people that are going to go to people's houses. Reveletta, you and I both know. You go for one thing that can immediately escalate to something way far greater than what they were actually responding to.
So who should go, John, to a domestic disturbance between a husband and a wife? Who should go there? Who should be dispatched? Who decides that? No. I want to know who decides that.
I don't know. I
call 288 or I call 911.
But I know what they're trying to do. But what are they trying to do? They're out at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. When people are just waking up, because, you know, people party late. They don't wake up to 12 and 1 and come outside. That's how a lot of black people are that don't have jobs. And they meet these people before they even interact with each other and talk to them before a domestic incident happens. See, this is what they do. They try to head it off, you know, before something happens. That's what
you really believe that.
They're not running into the line of fire.
You really believe that for a while.
I was on the phone with one of my friends, and I heard him interacting with people, talking about the day and everything else, trying to keep the peace.
I remember years.
Don't make me laugh, man. You're trying to make me laugh.
I just remember I just remember in Joliet, the families, John and Joliet, the gang member families, and you know some of those names that are still there. They would fight over a girl. Next thing you know, there's retaliations left and right. Who intervened? The Joliet Police Department intervened.
Over on the hill?
Right. Up on the on the hill there, because it's unincorporated, right? Because you can walk right off into unincorporated Lockport. But some of these players are bad actors, but they would continue to go on and on over stupid stuff. They stole rims, and the fight went from there.
Right.
So you're going to send peacekeepers? You want to send peacekeepers,
not for somebody stealing rims. I know how people feel about their rims.
Well, I'm just saying, but so when these things blow up and it's gang retaliation, who's intervening? The police,
right,
or the social workers are coming?
You got to talk to the gangs before it blow up. You got to keep the peace between the gangs.
But you know the thing is that people don't understand. John does. These gangs are different now than when you were a police officer. When I was a prosecutor, that they are so spread out. They interact with each other like they didn't. They work together, so
the clock's on.
It's all different.
The clock's on in the second hour. Yay! When we get back, they also want to get rid of the gang database.
Yeah.
Now I want to get into it with that because now I do believe the gang database needs some tweaking. I said that on the morning show. Robert, Mitchell, Joe, hold the line. We'll take your calls when we get back.
Yep.
After all, don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Today I was watching a game show and the winner introduced his beautiful wife. The woman had a facial deformity, but you could tell he meant what he said. It's hurtful that my husband never sees my inner beauty. Gosh, why would you be writing to Dear Abby? Are you telling me things didn't work out?
How could you be married for 41 years and he never tells you you're beautiful? I mean, make it up or lie if you have to.
Maybe he feels that's like a patriarchal construct.
Start your day with Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday mornings starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
Within 3 days of starting it, I noticed a big difference in my energy level. Like I was able to take the dog for a walk to the mailbox. It made a tremendous difference, and I don't take daily naps anymore. I can pin it down to 3 full days on, and on the 4th day, it was like I was a new person. Even my friends have noticed my energy level is different.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
Gatto Industrial Platers, Inc. is the specialist in zinc and zinc nickel plating. Gatto is big, they're good, and they're easy to work with. Their high production rack plating line has up to a 27-foot capacity to handle any zinc plating requirement. Gatto's 210,000 square foot facility can process 300 tons per day and offers complete custom packaging with available pickup and delivery in the Chicago metro area by Gatto's own fleet of trucks. All of Gatto's products are inspected and certified to ensure that each customer is receiving the best and most cost-effective plating protection. Gatto is home to King Kong, the largest zinc plating line in North America that can zinc plate parts up to 27 feet long and weighing up to 8,000 pounds. For a quote and fast 24 to 48-hour service, call George Gatto Jr. or George Gatto Sr. at 1-800-290-1223. That's 1-800-290-1223. 1-800-290-1223.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Switch your attitude. Go ahead, level up yourself. This that different latitude.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the troublemaker and the prosecutor. Did you head over to blackandrightradio.com yet? If you haven't, get over there. The boat cruise. I finalized it with Black White Marcus. Oh, I said I was going to call him out. Let me tell you, man. You know Marcus, right?
Yeah.
You know Marcus is white.
Yeah.
You know his name is Marcus Brown.
Oh, wow. That's a black name.
So my nickname for him is Black White Marcus. You know why? So we go to breakfast the other morning. Guess what he eats?
What?
Take a wild guess.
Soul food?
He didn't have grits, did he?
No. Take a wild guess of what you think. What are they? What they're known? It's famous in L.A.
I would not know.
Roscoe's.
What?
Chicken and waffles.
Oh, okay.
He eats chicken and waffles. I said, that name is going to forever stick with Marcus Brown now, Black White Marcus. He went and had chicken and waffles. Come on,
I haven't met too many white dudes with the last name Brown. That's a
that's
black
my
name.
point.
That's
my
a black
point.
name.
Black White Marcus. Now you get it.
All right.
Let's go to the phone lines. Robert's been holding for quite some time. Robert from Bloomingdale, welcome back to Black and Right.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's going on?
You know, I want to ask you, since now that we know the cash bail deal is done, the judicial passed it. Could this be overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court if they take the case?
Who's going to send it? Who's going to pay the money to even allow this to go to the
There has to be a federal issue for it to
I
go, and I don't think it would become a federal issue. So, and I don't think the U.S. Supreme Court would take it. They're going to respect the 10th Amendment and say it's up to the state to decide how they bail people out.
Yeah. Right. But that's not the only part of that. I mean, everybody's keep harping on the bail part. Dude, that's other parts of that bill that's disastrous. You know? Like I know they fixed it, kind of sort of fixed it. Did Berlin help fix that part, everybody? Thanks so much for calling us, Robert.
Which part?
Remember the trespassing part? Basically, you couldn't Anybody can come onto your
I
property
think
now.
maybe
They
that's
fixed that
been
part,
fixed,
right?
But what is that? Out of all the other stuff,
Right.
what does that even mean?
Right. Okay. Let's go to Mitchell from Des Plaines. Mitchell.
What's up, Mitchell? Thanks for calling back.
They still don't want to talk to us.
Come on, Mitch.
Mitchell going once. Mitchell going twice.
See you in Ukraine soon.
See ya, Mitchell. Let's go to Joe from Dundee. Joe. Joe, you there?
Joe.
Nobody wants to talk to us today.
What is going on with the
Joe,
phone?
are you there? He's probably got us on hold. I'll give you 2 seconds, Joe. Going once, going twice. See you, Joe. Mark.
I know
Man on the
he's ready to
street.
go.
You know he's ready to go. Mark, what's up, brother?
All right. Mark, man on the street. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Why do people do that? Can you hear me?
Are you ready? Well, I'm coming in hot. I've got a couple ideas on this hot dog thing at Boss Dogs. We're going to name one of them Coming In Hot, and the other one we're just going to call the Troublemaker. So I don't know.
Oh. I like it.
Black olives on there, or some black peppers,
about
or
that.
some, white peppers. I don't know. I just came up with the name, so that's my theory. I don't know what we're going to do for the prosecutor for his hot dog. So, hey, I got a bone to pick that Mike Boss, our boss.
Yeah.
He's pragmatic is another word for rhino.
No.
He's coming in hot.
I'm not gonna let you. He's not a rhino.
Okay. No, he's coming in wrong.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, let's let Mark,
Go ahead, Mark.
explain.
Explain why you call him a rhino.
Go ahead and
I just
explain.
hope you don't call me pragmatic, because that's not a compliment. So, but hey, I'm going on the boat cruise, and I'm buying it. I just bought a T-shirt. My T-shirt from blackandwhiteradio.com says, "The lion never fears to walk alone." So I'll
That's
be
right.
wearing that on the boat cruise. And one more thing, Tuesday we're going up to Lake Geneva for a One Nation Under God. They're doing the fundraiser for, and their speaker's going to be this Mark Hovick, Houck, and he's the guy who was arrested. Had a SWAT team come to his house because he protested in front of abortion clinics. So
Right.
he's going to be our keynote speaker along with Peter Breen. who's
Right.
gonna
Hey,
be-
Mark. I'm not gonna let you get off the. Wait, Mark. Hold on. I'm not gonna let you get away from that. Please explain why he's a rhino.
Well, somebody, I won't tell you who, just sent me a list of everything he voted for. So he voted for amnesty for illegals.
Wait. Let him break it down. Go ahead, Mark.
12 things. And you know what? I'm going to post it on the Facebook
Please
page
do.
so everyone can see it.
Please do.
So,
So he voted for illegals to what? Be police?
No, that was the Illinois bill.
amnesty for him or something. I don't know. It's just
Okay.
the whole term pragmatic. Why?
Oh, so when Darren Bailey votes for all the tax hikes at the school district, that was okay, though, right, Mark?
Then that's not good either.
Well, okay, well, that's good. So then
He also
post that,
voted
too.
to support some vaccine stuff. It's just I'm a far right person. I want freedom. I want less government. That's what I want.
I'm a constitutional
I don't-
person. I want people to obey the
The
Constitution.
Constitution's good. That's good too. So we just we need less government and less taxes and more freedom, and that's what I want. So
All right.
I'm supporting Darren Bailey based on what you told me.
All right, brother. Thanks
All
so
right.
much, man. On the
Thanks a
street.
lot, Mark.
All right. Let's
I
go.
award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Let's go to Joe. He's called back from Dundee. Joe, welcome back to Black and Right.
What's up, Joe?
Joe?
Joe.
Come on, Joe.
Come on, Joe.
Come on, man. Let's go to.
You know why they say, "Can you hear me?" Because after they hear everybody getting cut off, like when I call in,
Right.
You're thinking there's a problem on your end,
Not my end.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
Let's
out there.
go to Terry's from Rogers Park. Terry.
Hey, Terry. Terry. It must be something wrong with the phone lines. It got to be something wrong.
Well,
with
how
the
did
phone
Mark just came through loud and clear?
Well, you probably have a special pass for him.
No.
You had him on the show, right? And he won a contest. I still want to see the results of that contest. 'Cause I didn't win. I bought a shirt. I thought I was going to be in there.
Are you sore about that?
Yeah, he
prosecutor?
sounds kind of sore about that.
Yeah, you sound like.
Yeah, sorry, you all. There's something wrong with the phone
you
lines.
You sound like I don't know, Karen over there.
Oh wow! That's 'cause I'm
Oh,
white.
it's not the
'Cause
phone
you
line.
white.
Because I'm
Oh,
white.
okay.
Okay.
Because you white. Oh gosh. Oh my God. But let's go back. Let's talk about this. So they want to get rid of the gang database.
Uh-huh.
Now, I brought up something on the morning answer. These unintended consequences. They don't really think these things through because they don't talk to the people who actually have to enforce these things once they want to get rid of the gang database. And I made a point, Dennis, people think that just when you're out on the street and you look somebody up, if that gang database is still not active and you respond to a domestic and you call for the priors on that house, when you call for priors on that house, guess what's going to show up? That occupants, certain occupants that live, that's attached to that house has a gang hit, has a what's the violence against child registry. So all these things will come up. So as a cop, I'm now prepping in my mind how I'm going to interact with this individual once I get there.
No, because you're not going to be there, John. The 288 is going to be called, and
Oh.
for line, the social worker will respond instead. But so the gang database, almost, I don't know, 90-something% of it, I'm sure, is almost all self-admitted. They're very proud of their status. So when you come into the, really, Verlon, you're going to give me a look?
Yeah, because I don't like what John just said. Not you, but you riding off of what he just said. I don't like what he said about a house pinging and popping up as a gang house. That house shouldn't be, just because one person there is in trouble, it shouldn't be labeled as a gang
That's called
house.
officer safety.
Somebody's grandmother, grandfather
Time
may
out.
be there. No,
Time out.
I
No,
don't like
it did
that.
not say that the house itself. It'll show that individuals, because every time that I responded to a house, especially if it was a domestic, especially if it was something violent, I would say, what are the priors on this residence? Who are the occupants that are in this house? And run a criminal history search on this individual. I want to know who I'm responding to.
That person might not even stay there anymore.
It doesn't matter, but guess what?
That house shouldn't be. No, because something bad might, because you coming in hot. You may, you don't, it depends on the officer. You may be coming in hot.
Safety is called. You know what it means by officer safety?
Be safe.
Okay, so you're saying that an officer should not know who he's getting ready to come into contact with.
Them people there
and
or
guess
not.
what? If it's not there, guess what the officer has to do? Go in and give the dispatcher new information that says that this individual no longer lives here.
Yeah, but you can approach the people that's there in an awkward way.
So you responded to one of these calls before, I take it.
No, I'm just saying I can just see it happening.
Oh my God.
That's why you need the social workers and the gang.
That's what you do.
Intervention people.
That's why social workers need to
We don't
respond.
have enough social workers to take care of the kids and the families that need it right now, let alone have them.
And DCFS either.
What happens the first time a social worker responds and gets gunned down by the gangbanger in the house, because you don't know that the gangbanger.
I got one for you. I got one for you. The gang intervention people are from the area which the community knows, which they used to know the police officer. They don't anymore, but they know the people that they interact with, and they're there to stop the violence. See, that's what you're not understanding. I feel comfortable. I trust
people
this
are stopping
person.
violence.
I trust
in
this
these
person.
cities when crime is going up. I got a ad here in my stack of stuff, as Rush Limbaugh used to say, that we're gonna get into when we get back.
All right.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Dennis Prager live in Chicago for Cigar Night on Thursday, August 24th at Klein Creek Golf Club in Winfield. Presented by Wilkins Mazda and Wilkins Hyundai in Elmhurst. Dennis will be joined by AM560's Dan Proft and Sean Thompson for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by HealthInsuranceMentors.com and by Blue Star Security.
Fox News, I'm Ted Lindner. The Southwest, including Phoenix, Arizona, continuing to bake. It's day 23 of 110-plus degree temperatures. The hot weather expected to stick around and expand.
38 days there where the temperatures have been 100 degrees or better. When we look long range, now we're looking at the 27th through the 31st. The only place likely to be average or cooler than average is the Pacific Northwest. The heat's going to expand to the north and to the east in the week ahead.
That's Fox Weather's meteorologist Craig Herrera. And no big winner in Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot drawing means that the jackpot now up to an estimated $820 million. The prize, the fifth largest in game history, with an estimated cash value of $422 million before taxes. The Powerball jackpot this past week paid one lucky winner in L.A. $1 billion. America's listening to Fox News.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training. We'll arm you with what really counts, knowledge and training. All concealed carry curriculums are not created equal. This may be the single most important decision you'll ever make for yourself and your loved ones. Choose between 3 and 16-hour classes that are available both weekdays and weekends. We are your one-stop for concealed carry classes, fingerprints, and legal defense plans.
Register for a class today and get 10% off class fees with promo code AM560. Visit IllinoisConcealedCarry.com. That's IllinoisConcealedCarry.com.
As a family-owned business, your complete satisfaction means the world to the McGrath Automotive Group. Everyone and everything at all of the locations are dedicated to making the McGrath experience your best experience. Whether you're looking to buy a new vehicle, in for service, or just taking a test drive, McGrath Automotive Group will always give you the personal attention you deserve. Visit one of their dealerships today in person or online at gomcgrath.com. Service, value, reputation. That's the power of McGrath.
Hey, I'm Raquel.
And I'm Babette.
Here to invite you to listen to our show, Belly of the Beast,
where we tackle all the hot topics and issues that you are talking about today.
So join us each week for our
hard-hitting,
fun,
informative,
topical,
out there
radio show where we leave nothing on the table.
Belly of the Beast, heard every Saturday evening at 7, right here on AM 560, The Answer. And follow us on Facebook at Belly of the Beast IL.
We can tell you about the incredible success we bring to local businesses, but it's better when it comes directly from our satisfied clients. Here's just one example.
After searching for a new vendor to handle my search marketing campaign, I contacted Salem Surround after seeing the great work they did for another restoration company in the different market. Their team of experts recommended a mix of multiple tactics designed to get my business the most quality leads at the lowest cost, making my marketing budget stretch further. In our first year partnering with Salem Surround, we recorded our best year to date, and I've told many people how blessed I was to find them. The representative answered the phone every time I called and quickly addressed any questions or concerns I had.
Let Salem Surround give you an absolutely free audit of your current marketing and show you what your competition is doing. Then we can come up with a personalized plan that's perfect for your needs. Visit surroundchicago.com and let our marketing experts help you achieve real success. Remember to visit surroundchicago.com today.
When your home or business has an insurance claim, the next step is very important. The claim process with insurance can be tedious, hard to understand, and difficult to navigate. You need someone working for you. You need a licensed claim adjuster. Why? The insurance company will send out their inspectors that work for them, get paid by them, and represent them, not you.
This is Dan Lights from Crosscom. We inspect your property, file your claim, negotiate the damages, and maximize your settlement with your insurance company. If we complete the repairs approved by your insurance company, our service is free. Crosscom Public Adjusters has turned denied claims into approved claims. We've also increased insurance claims anywhere from 23 to 1,000%. We are licensed by the Department of Insurance and work in Illinois, Northwest Indiana, and Southern Wisconsin. Crosscom Public Adjusters, 630-871-5500. Online at crosscominc.com. That's crosscominc.com. Crosscom, building trust for over 20 years.
We now return to Black and White on AM 560. The Answer. Here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and White Radio. I got something for you about this guy right here that's associated with our back and forth feud between him and George Michaels. I'll wait for the end of the show, though, to spring that. You may be happy about this, Fly. I'll save that for the end of the show, though. Welcome back to Black and White. Milan, you know there's no 120 life here, right? Dan Prof, I got a bone to pick with him. He doesn't bring the 120 life in here anymore.
He started being generous.
Oh, Sean. Right, Sean probably, he was in studio all week, so Sean probably drank them all.
Oh, he drunk.
Because you know he needs them.
Yeah.
Those veins that start popping out of his head.
Yeah.
You trying to get my blood push, blood pressure
Where'd I
up.
do this then?
With you and your... Listen, here's what I believe about what's happening in policing. Now, I was a cops unit person.
Okay.
When I was out there on the street, they called me Rev. I knew a lot of the people because I was there. I was in the community as a cop. But I think what's happening today, a lot of these new cops are getting pushed straight to these positions of the cops units, and they're not getting real raw police work. They're not seeing, because policing, Villan, you see people at their worst.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any other profession that where you, and maybe firefighters because they respond, but I don't know any other profession that sees people when they are at their lowest points.
Paramedic.
Right. But I have to actually deal with that issue. Paramedics only have to deal if there's something physically wrong. I'm talking about when you have to deal with these people when they're at the height of their frustration, the height of their anger, and it's the police job to either fight or flight with them. You know, and I think a lot of these newer cops are being pushed into these, you know, a lot of people used to call them hug a cop type programs. So when I got into it, people go, "Oh, you're a hug a cop now," which I think is needed. But I think a lot of these new cops are not really getting the foundation of what it means to be an officer, responding to these domestic calls, responding to these shot fired calls, responding to these, you know, fights in progress. They've never really had to respond to that.
What you don't want to come to grips with is policing is changing, and it has to change. You just can't come in like John Wayne anymore. You have to deal with these social problems and social ills. You have to take
and you know what?
a step back and
wait. Who's supposed to deal with the social ills?
That's what the
not the police.
That's
No,
what
But the
mayor
police
wants.
are the only ones doing it,
Right.
right?
What do you mean? They're not the
Aren't
only
the elected
ones.
officials supposed to deal with the social ills?
They
and
are.
Guide they are.
Yeah.
Oh, so you like Brandon's policy on
He
policing?
hasn't instituted anything yet. I
Right.
told you I'm a fan of wait and see. Everything has remained exactly the same. The man has only been in office about 3 months.
That's
He hasn't put
hoodwinked.
anything.
Hood and winked.
What?
Hood and winked. Here's what happened. You're hoodwinked by that.
Mm.
Wait and see means I'm not doing anything. I haven't changed anything, and I'll let you know how it goes. It's not my fault. It's the previous mayor's fault. So your wait and see is when are you done evaluating, Verlon? How much more do you need to see?
Once he puts his policies in place, then
Which
I
are
can
what?
judge him.
What are the policies?
Well, he hasn't done it yet.
Why? He's been mayor for how long?
He's
May.
taking a calm approach. He's taking the approach of steady hand.
Well, you sound like he sound like a Democrat whisperer. Now.
No,
you
He's
sound
okay.
like
He lives in Indiana. It doesn't bother him.
But wait, hold on. Listen, Villan.
The armed robbery that just happened in Addison didn't bother you,
That's what
did
I was
it?
about to go.
The big armed robbery at the Walgreens in
That's
Lombard
bad.
didn't bother you, did it?
You better get out of there.
Oh,
Okay,
it's in
Villan.
DuPage County.
Villan.
Yes.
You keep saying there's a new form that police have to. I can't let go of the policing is changing.
Right.
But you know what's happening because policing is changing?
Yes.
Look at this headline from I believe this was NBC 5. Chicago police investigating 62 armed robberies reported across the city in recent weeks. So you're changing how police should respond. You're changing all of the different responsibilities you're giving them, and then you expect them to do what? What's change the societal ills?
What's Brandon's policy, Verlon,
And-
on pursuit of the armed robbers once they leave
Correct.
the scene?
Well, he hasn't. Well, he's still following Lori Lightfoot's policy, so you don't know what he's going to do.
How do
when
you
it
know
comes
he's
to
still
that
following
yet,
that?
because that's what's still in place. It hasn't been changed yet. So, but what you don't understand is you haven't let him implement his other side.
Read his plan.
Wait, no, his other side, his big plan, investing in people, that hasn't come to fruition.
Villan, did you read his plan?
You tell me.
I'm
You
doing-
read it to me. You the host.
His plan.
Read it.
His plan is a progressive nightmare.
Say something. Stop being general.
No, I want you to
What
read it.
does
on the break.
invest mean, Verlon?
Right.
Disinvest?
No, invest.
See, you got to leave it up to him. He's gonna teach us what his investing in people means.
Villan, I want you to read it because next week this is your homework assignment.
Oh,
read this plan, and then because I've read all 223 pages of it. Next week, read it, and then we're gonna have
you
a
can't
conversation.
give us a summary.
No, because I want you to come up with your own perspective of what you think his plan is.
When does he
All right.
get to take responsibility for what's happening right now? That started on day one
Day
when
one.
he put his hand on the Bible. He swore the oath, and he owns all this stuff now. You can't blame anybody else.
Nothing.
Put your big boy pants on and govern and shut the violence down that happens every day in the city of Chicago. And that includes the marginalized communities that he wants to, quote unquote, invest in.
Say less. We'll be right back.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
This balance of nature has really helped me. It has kept me peppy as far as energetic. I honestly know that I have to give it credit. So I know that greatest thing that I take is that balance of nature. No matter what I have to endure, I am not giving balance of nature that.
It gives us more energy, and we have a rescue farm to take care of. And there isn't anything else that we've changed that would give us the energy, and we just love it. We just swear by it. Both Chuck and I have had the same experience, and I said, Chuck, it has to be balance of nature.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Dennis Prager here. Sue and I mean it when we say dogs are part of our family, and there's nothing like their loyal companionship. So we provide them with Rough Greens, R-U-F-F, because we want them to feel healthy and be with us as long as possible. I know Charlie Kirk feels the same way.
The Pragers and I couldn't agree more. I rely on my trusted furry friend, Mr. Briggs, who's an absolute machine, and he relies on me to provide what's best for him. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black has packed Rough Greens, not a dog food, but a supplement full of vitamins, minerals, digestive enzymes, and omega oils that Mr. Briggs absolutely needs and loves. Trying Rough Greens for your dog just makes sense.
Greetings, Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black here. I'm honored that the Pragers and Charlie trust their dog's health to Rough Green. I'm so confident that Rough Green can help your dog too that I'm offering you a free Jumpstart trial bag. Just cover the shipping. Yes, dog food is dead food, but it doesn't have to be. Go to ruffgreens.com.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the 21st century with IoT Smart Connected Scan. It's easy to turn physical paper into digital documents and have them directly uploaded to the cloud with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. And you don't need a degree in computing or IT to make it happen. Using QR code technology uniquely configured for your specific business, anyone can set the IoT Smart Connected Scanning device up in 5 minutes or less, saving your organization money and valuable time. Remote employees can even capture documents and send them safely and seamlessly. Organize documents efficiently and securely with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. To see a demo or to order now, go to ready4idt.com. That's ready4idt.com. Use promo code SMART and receive 10% off your order. IDT, putting paper in its place.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio. We can cut this song off right now. They're gonna. This is a song that continues the band. I'm gonna get half that.
Why won't you change it, John?
I gotta send Marcus. I
just asked John, can we replace it with Teddy Pendergrass?
Yeah. All right, let's.
Well, who'd you like? I didn't hear the whole country debate last week.
You can't hide from yourself.
Wait, hold on. Who was it? George Strait?
George Strait or who?
Garth Brooks. Yeah, Garth Brooks is my guy.
I saw George Strait in Vegas. Great show.
Who do you like?
George Strait.
Oh, man, come on, man.
You're tasting music, man.
Garth Brooks was the king, man, for so long.
I'm not saying
he was Elvis. He was Elvis of country music.
George Strait.
Yeah, and then he turned into a lefty. Isn't Garth a lefty now?
That's what somebody
said. Well, that's right. Well, yeah, but he supports Bud Light in his bar.
What was that?
I love
what was that?
I love when I love when Hoff Daddy is here. I promise you, I love it. I thought I had a Candace Owens audio clip. Did I? Can you cue that up? Listen to this exchange between Candace Owens. Okay, that's fine. Well, we can wait. We can wait for after the break then. But I got to play this clip with Candace Owens because one of the things I do love about her, she makes these reporters like, I just stepped into it. Listen to her. Roll it.
There was another tweet that said, the Democratic Party is comprised of racist white liberals.
That is correct.
Am I a racist white liberal?
Well, let's go back. And let's say, I will say this, that many people in the party are not aware of their own racism. Let's go back to an early part of this conversation where you said to me, are you concerned about the color in the White House? Why would you ask me that question?
Because you speak about black issues.
No, but why would you ask me that? But let's get to really the nucleus of this. Why did you ask me that question today?
Because I'm
why did you feel that I needed to be
perspective.
concerned about that?
Because you're bringing a whole group of young African American leaders to the White House.
Okay, so this is something that I talk about often, is that in many ways white liberals don't realize that you put on that the racism and the conversations that we have.
So you're saying I'm a racist?
You haven't let me finish my statement. You keep cutting me off.
Go ahead.
Okay. The emphasis that you place is always on having a discussion about race. Okay. You guys are insistent on having a conversation about race and telling us that we should see and implying that we should see race everywhere, and I don't agree with that. If you don't look at me according to the color of my skin, you would simply ask me how I thought that Trump was doing as a president. But instead, you try to drum up a conversation that's surrounded by race by asking me, are there enough black people in the White
group
House?
Of young black leaders
You
to the
see
White House.
color, I don't.
That's something.
Valon, isn't that what you've been saying for the last couple of weeks?
I've been saying it. I've been saying that, but it's going to take somebody like her with name recognition and reach to get it across the people.
Yeah, because, our boy, I ain't gonna
please,
say his name.
please,
I'm not gonna say his
please,
name.
man. The last tweet that I saw between you, because I don't take part in
text.
I don't. Well, yeah, text. I don't take part in it anymore in that group. But the last thing that I saw from you and him is he said Black Power.
Yeah.
It just it won't end, and I will not consume myself with that nonsense anymore ever.
Yeah,
I'm done.
You know what I worry about, John? The troublemakers' love of KJP. So I learned about that last week, and I was a little concerned. So, but
yeah,
that woman fine.
Wait.
Man.
Oh, you mean when she says this? Wait, it won't. Can you play the KJP? I can't. I just tried it.
You've heard us say this over and over again. This is a president that respects the rule of law. This is the president that wants to make sure and has proven that to be in his actions to make sure that the Department of Justice is truly independent. And, and he said that during the campaign, he's restoring certainly the integrity of the Department of Justice.
And she said she was part of history, right?
Right. Yeah.
But that's important.
Now, I got on her about that. But
you troublemaker of the week.
But when I think of her and when I see her on TV, I can't hear anything but wah, 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 wah. Because she's so beautiful, I don't hear the words. But now that I hear when she says things like that, I will criticize her. I will tell her, stop speaking nonsense and just try to answer the questions that's posed to you.
But how can he be restoring the integrity of the three-letter agencies when he actually, see, here's the thing about Democrats. This is what you got to understand about them. They put people in place in these positions of power that they don't have to tell them what to do. The reason why they're there is because they know that this person or this individual is going to do or carry out what needs to be done. That's why Mayorkas is where he is. That's why Garland is where he is, because they know they don't have to go and say, hey, stop the Hunter Biden investigation. Hey, stop the $10 million. Hey, FBI, Ray, don't release that document because that document is damning against us.
Listen, listen, we all know that. But to go after her is low-hanging fruit. She has a job to do. She's not going to veer from what she's supposed to say.
Did you defend Kayleigh McEnany the same way?
Oh, yeah, I did.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
I know. I couldn't even get it out.
Man,
today, Junior.
Stop naming these beautiful women because when she talks, I don't hear nothing either.
I didn't hear you defend her.
Beautiful. Yes, I did.
I did not hear you defend her.
Yes, I did.
Nope.
And I defended the woman that just got divorced from her husband. What's her name? The first one that used to speak for Trump.
The pollster.
Who's that?
Oh, God. What's her name?
Conley.
No,
she's on the 5, right?
No,
right? No,
Kellyanne Conway.
Yes, I used to defend her as well.
Yeah,
those was two strong
but
ladies.
But you cannot say anything about KJP because of her background, right?
I don't defend what she says.
She's a lesbian, so if you say something against her, what does the media say, John? You're attacking her not because of what she said. You're attacking her because who she is.
I say you attacking beauty. You are attacking beauty.
I believe that.
She's beautiful.
I'm sorry, John, for bringing it up, but I heard it last week. I think I almost fell over up in Wisconsin. I couldn't believe that he lost all control in his mind as to what was going on.
Hey, when we come back, I want to play some audio clips from Representative Jordan and Representative Plaskett from a recent. It was fireworks, man. Fireworks when RFK Jr. was there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I want to get you guys' take on that.
All right.
Hey, head over to blackandwhiteradio.com. Get your merch. We'll be right back.
I'll be back. You can't keep the Democrats out of the White House forever. And when they get in, I'm back on the streets with all my criminal buddies.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
Cable news. Noisy, out of touch, on repeat. Tired of all the lookalikes? So are we. Salem News Channel is here to change the game. Streaming 24/7, free on your TV with the greatest collection of conservative voices. Home to Dinesh D'Souza, Andrew Wilkow, Brandon Tatum, and more. Like you, we say what's wrong and what's right. Unfiltered and unapologetic. Salem News Channel. We're the answer to the mainstream media. Learn more at snc.tv.
I'm Shalom Klein. Join me each week for the Get Down to Business radio show. This show is packed with ideas that will inspire as you search for best practices to grow your business. Whether you are an experienced entrepreneur or just learning the ropes, Get Down to Business will tackle the issues affecting your everyday work life.
Get Down to Business is covered by Tom Mirabali, independent producer for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois.
Listen each week to Get Down to Business with me, Shalom Klein. Heard Sunday afternoons at 6 right here on AM 560.
Let's get it to him, baby girl. Hey. That's right.
Black and Right continues on AM 560. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back. Black and White Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in the studio with the troublemaker, Hawk Daddy in the boards, and the prosecutor. You know, prosecutor, we were just talking about in the bathroom, just about how much, you know, we have loved ones that live in Chicago and just how much we are concerned about their safety coming up. And we start talking about the judge, and we were like, wait. And the Safety Act puts a lot of onus on the judge. And we think about Cook County, think about St. Clair County, think about Winnebago County. Do you have much comfort in that?
Well, you know, as a practitioner who has practiced in a number of counties, one of the things I really do worry about is when you have a bunch of people sitting in custody on murder cases right now that are waiting for this to take effect, and in 90 days after this law takes effect, they'll be up to be released.
Right.
And there aren't murder cases that go to trial within 90 days, because if you were in custody on a no bond warrant, it would be 90 days.
Right.
If you were in custody, it'd be 120 days on a speedy trial demand, but we've actually expedited that, and so now you're going to have to host a bunch of hearings to try to prove why somebody should not be released. So this has been an ongoing thing for years. And when I was back in the GA a while back, there was always a conversation about bond. And I said, well, how about on the smaller cases, we just have automatic bond review within 48 hours or 72 hours? Well, that's not enough. Well, why isn't it enough? In Will County, the judge I used to practice in front of when I was a prosecutor said, you know what, we're going to bring him up in 48 hours. Yeah. If he can't post $200, we're going to let him out.
Yeah.
Nobody was sitting around in custody. It's going to be the violent offenders, the sex offenders that are going to have a right to get out. Prosecutors do not have the time to thoroughly investigate, subpoena witnesses, get their cases together. They're all going to come together. And you know what judges are going to do? They're going to end up either. So you have to err on one side or the other.
Correct.
There's no middle ground.
Correct.
Either you're in or you're out.
Right.
And if you're out, then what happens? Who's responsible? If I'm the judge, I would say, you know who's responsible? The Illinois General Assembly is responsible for this. They passed it. And so now it's been found constitutional. So based on what has been presented to me, then I have to release him. And so even before a bond hearing, before just reviewing the reports, I used to have to do it for 50 cases, read the reports, read all the CQH and leads, look at victim statements. And now you have to prove to the judge why somebody should be held.
Right.
And how am I going to show they're a flight risk, John? How do I do that?
Can't.
You can't.
Well, I think it's a good thing that it's in the hand of the judges. Judges should do their job, and they get to evaluate, they judge.
Right.
So I think that's a good thing.
Dennis can't really go against the judge because he's a practicing attorney. I can. When you look at what's happening with these, hopefully this wakes up the populace to understand what it means to elect these judges as well.
Well, it does, but I also believe that the judge already had the authority.
Correct.
And that as a defense attorney, and I do it, I can file a motion at any time to reduce bond or change conditions of bond. So I said, a good attorney should be able to do that no matter what.
Right.
Represent your client zealously, advocate for them, file whatever motions are appropriate. There were no judges holding people in custody for $50.
No.
Right. That's all
But you know what,
tales.
though? And me and you argued about this a while back. I still think bond is a money grab because you know as well as I do is people that don't show up for their court date, next thing you know, they're hauled back in and they're reissued a new bond, and the court system gets to keep the old bond. So it's still a money grab in my
This goes back
eyes.
to social workers responding. Please come to court. We'll send a social worker to remind you, to wake you up to come.
Ooh, he got you right there on that one.
He got the last word about 3 times.
Valon, Senor said, shout out to Valon for properly curving the bill of his cap.
All right.
We'll be right back. Out.
A senior project manager is wanted in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Winfield Consulting specializes in the pharmaceutical industry, providing problem-oriented solutions and data services for the analysis and reporting of in vivo and in vitro studies, as well as phase 1 through 3 clinical trials and NDA submissions. Job duties: plan and direct the operations of the company, monitor the overall project management, manage the projects for global operations and implementation, define the project success criteria, develop schedules to track projects, minimum requirements: master's degree in business administration, management, or a related field, strong knowledge of project management, team management, and risk management. Strong knowledge may be gained through educational coursework, training, or experience. Salary: $92,000 per year. Send resumes to Lily Tan, Winfield Consulting Corporation, 1130 West Lake Cook Road, Suite 202A, Buffalo Grove, Illinois, 60089. Job reference 1001.
Insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com. On the AM 560 mobile app. Tune in, iHeart, and on Odyssey.
More drama surrounding the president's son. I'm Ted Lindner, Fox News. A newly released document from the FBI alleges Biden family ties to the firing of a top Ukrainian prosecutor.
That unclassified FBI document alleges that Joe Biden and his son Hunter each received $5 million to get Ukraine's top prosecutor fired. Biden was vice president and his son Hunter was on a board of that same energy company that the prosecutor was investigating. The FBI informant says the head of Ukrainian oil giant Burisma was, quote, coerced to pay Joe Biden his, quote, stupid son Hunter. None of this FBI document can be verified, although some said the same thing about the Steele dossier. Donald Trump was impeached for asking Ukraine's president to investigate the Bidens over the matter of this alleged pay-to-play scheme. Now some Republicans want to return the favor.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Meantime, the latest Fox News polls show former President Trump with a commanding lead over his fellow candidates for the GOP presidential nomination. But not all Republicans see Trump as a clear favorite. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu pointing to polling in his state that shows voters favor the rest of the pack over the former president.
That's 60+% of the voters right now that are not with Trump here in New Hampshire. I think that number will grow even more and more. As a lot of that, his poll numbers, even at 37%, there's a lot of sympathy there for him. him, because of the political attacks.
Sununu on Cavuto Live on the Fox News Channel. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis remains a distant second in the polls to former President Trump. And a new Harvard poll shows 57% of Americans believe a new criminal indictment against former President Trump was served to add drama to the election cycle. The same majority saying an additional indictment would hurt Trump's chances at a second term in the White House. The poll comes as Trump was served a target letter by special counsel Jack Smith in his investigation into the former president's attempts to overturn the 2020 election and ties to the January 6th Capitol riots. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
Partly cloudy overnight with widely separated thunderstorms. Low 66. Variably cloudy tomorrow with a thunderstorm in the afternoon. High up to 84 to wrap the weekend. Come Monday, going to be partly sunny, high 87. Sunny to partly cloudy Tuesday, high 88. Hot on Wednesday, clouds and sunshine. Watch for a strong afternoon thunderstorm, high 90. I'm Ruth O'Brien on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
One of the most important decisions you can make as a parent is where you send your kids to school. But these days, it's never been harder to know which school is best. Public schools have changed a lot, and you might be thinking about sending your child to a private Christian school. But you also know that private school can be expensive, and in this economy, you might think it's not an option. Well, think again. With halfpriceschools.com, you can purchase tuition vouchers for half the price of normal tuition for private schools. For nearly 10 years, halfpriceschools.com has helped families from all over Chicagoland make the dream of private school a reality. And that can be the reality for you and your child too. Just go to halfpriceschools.com, search for a private Christian school near you and purchase a voucher. It's that easy. Visit halfpriceschools.com. That's halfpriceschools.com.
Everyone drives at Metro Ford. When you're shopping for a new vehicle, you have high expectations. At Metro Ford, we love meeting and exceeding those standards for each and every customer. You'll be amazed at our fast and hassle-free shopping experience. Visit our website at emetroford.com and design your dream deal with just a few clicks. Shop our inventory of new and used vehicles. Customize a payment that works for you. You can even sign online and drive away today. It's that easy. Plus, we'll find the very best deals and incentives for people of any credit situation. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. That's why we say everyone drives at Metro Ford. Stop in today. We're located at 6455 Southwestern Avenue in Chicago. Or shop at your convenience 24/7 at emetroford.com. Find out why.
Metro Ford's on everywhere. Metro Ford's on everywhere.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround. We're a full-service marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing incredibly effective plans to reach your consumers day, night, and everywhere they might be.
If you're a local business and want to see what Salem Surround can do for you, visit surroundchicago.com. Remember to visit surroundchicago.com today.
AM 560, The Answer. Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm coming in hot. You're in trouble. What are you gonna do?
This week's Troublemaker Award goes to Reel's Instagram. Now, I don't know if this guy is a preacher or a professor, but he got up in front of Morehouse graduating class and he said this. George, play the clip.
No one comes through this life traumaless. No one comes through this life unscathed. No one comes through this life without a little bruising. And no matter what you accomplish today, remember this, that you all are black men in the United States of America. And you better remember what that means. That means you live with the legacy of trauma. where your bodies have not been appreciated, where your skin has not been honored. You live daily with trauma. Black men in America live and deal with trauma, and its tentacles hover over your possibilities. During your matriculation, you learned that. During your time in school, we saw this country in racial turmoil. Why? Because we discovered, to some people's surprise, that southern trees still bear strange fruit, that black bodies still swing from trees, that black mothers' sons are still being murdered, that black women still are the oppressed of the oppressed, that black mothers die more in childbirth than anybody else. You know what trauma looks like. That poverty in our communities is rampant and pervasive, that children go to sleep at gunfire for a choir. You know what trauma looks like. You felt it in your life.
Now, it's a damn shame that people like this still exist. People that promote division and people that promote victimhood. I wish these people would just disappear like in North Korea or Cuba. But we see you. We see you, and we shall overcome. George, can we give this promoter of victimhood the biggest?
Nope.
Oh. What you talking about, Willis?
He gone.
That's the second time, man.
Oh, sorry about that, Valon.
That's all right. It's going to hit home. It's going to eventually hit home because I ain't going to stop.
Wait. See, this is why people say that I'm not black. Because I thank God for the ancestors and my forefathers in the black side that went through all of that so that I didn't have to. And the trauma which he speaks, who's going through that today?
None of us.
Valon?
No, none of us.
I think you can apply that across the board of all people, period. Trauma, the Irish, the Jewish population. I mean, Italianos. People forget how. What's his name? What was you guys' name? The fascist, the totalitarian in Italy. Mussolini. People forget that United States isn't the only country that had to still to deal with these issues.
Well, it's not
but
just
today,
historic either. There's trauma ongoing.
Correct.
In life, there's trauma. There's people in slavery right now. There are people who've watched their family die and not been allowed to treat them.
Correct.
I mean, there's trauma everywhere.
Correct.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't. But
I can't.
This is why
This
is why people don't like us. Especially people who don't think we black.
You want to know why? Because they feel hard leftists that are black feel that we're trying to rationalize it. By what you're saying, what you just said, they feel like their trauma or their slavery was worse than any other slavery.
Yeah, but they never been through slavery.
They feel like they have.
And most of them. Okay, I'm gonna say it, and I don't care if I get in trouble. I'm gonna say it, and most of them date white people.
I ain't gonna say most of them.
A lot of them, though. A lot of them who push that Afrocentric thing.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
But I'm not gonna say or put it out there like those white women or the white liberals are leading them around by their nose. No, there are a lot of hardcore black leftists that believe this ideology
and they can believe it
and push this ideology. It's not the white liberal leading them around.
Right. It's not hard to believe or understand. If you've convinced yourself that an entire group of people hates you unilaterally and arbitrarily, you're probably just going to reciprocate. The problem isn't that he hates someone. The problem is that he's convinced himself that everyone hates him.
Yeah. True. And I guess, listen, I don't even know what to. I don't even know. Go ahead.
Let me take it. These people who feel like that, your boy included, feels like there's after effects. Okay, what they will say is, I never went through slavery. Like I always tell people, you never been hit with a whip. You never had to pick cotton or was forced to pick cotton.
I don't know about that. I got hit with my grandmother.
Well, that's a switch. But
felt like a whip.
They will tell you, I never been through that. But at the same time, there are after effects where we never got on our feet. We never were availed to prosperity, opportunity. And they'll always talk about the red line in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and slavery and Jim Crow. and all of the hurdles that we've been through to get to where we are now, and they will say we still truly don't have any kind of economic prosperity. So it's the responsibility of the government to make us whole. That's what they will say to your argument.
Okay. Prosecutor, you got anything?
That's fair enough. I think Huff Daddy hit the nail on the head, that if you just tell everybody, no matter what, these other people will hate you, and you will go through life traumatized, and you've learned that all of your life, and you've been educated that way, then you make the assumption because I'm white that I'll hate you.
Right. Really
I'm
easy
working
to get
against
people to
you.
hate other people that way.
That's right. It's a very easy message.
Wait.
Instead of having things be a little bit more complex than that, you can still understand and appreciate history and understand that this is still the greatest nation in the world and continues to evolve and continues to strive for betterment. But when everybody is being taught that they're a victim, then who is left to pay out all these reparations,
right,
and pay off and apologize for all these grievances?
What does the Declaration talk? What does it say about happiness? What does the Declaration say about our happiness here in America?
Everybody has the pursuit, the right to
does
pursue.
Does it say we have happiness?
No.
It says the pursuit of
and you don't have the right to
You know
it.
how much I
to
wish
pursue
people
it.
would replace the word prosperity with opportunity.
Correct.
And then it would actually be.
But I got to correct you on something, Dennis.
Wait. I was done. Real quick.
Okay.
I saw this. I think I saw this on Instagram. Listen to this. It says white privilege doesn't mean your life hasn't been hard. It means that your skin color isn't one of the things making it harder.
That's true.
But no, watch this though. But isn't the same people who are calling for white privilege basically because of that are now making white people's life harder because of their skin color?
Oh, for sure. And that's what I was just about to tell Dennis. He said something about the black people that think like that presume that he hates them. No, sir. They have been taught to hate you. Soon as they see you, soon as they make eye contact with you, they think the worst of you. It's not about what you think. They don't know what you think. You haven't said anything yet. But they've been taught in college, look, Morehouse College, that you hate them, you want to keep them down, and you don't want the best for them. So it's not about you. You got to rethink that. They hate you when they see you.
You know what I find interesting? My son goes to Florida State University. He's in the engineering program. Do you know where the engineering program is at?
Where?
They share it with Florida A&M.
Oh.
And so Florida State built the building. So if you were accepted to Florida State and you were accepted to Florida A&M, you can go to the engineering school. And they all go together. He's never talked about anything about other students in any other way, but, oh, yeah, they don't even think of themselves as, oh, I'm from Florida A&M, I'm from Florida, I'm from FSU.
Right.
These are engineering students. They actually feel kind of awkward because they don't they're not really like a Seminole, right, or a Rattler, right? So you're pretty impressed I knew that, right?
Right.
So, but you see, they're not thinking about that. But here's a historically black college, right? And an institution that is a higher, one of the top in the country in public universities. Students getting together, just learning.
Yeah.
Not worrying about grievances and histories and all that other stuff.
But doesn't that take away from the dream of Martin Luther King? Where he wanted his kids to be judged on the content of their character, not the color of their skin.
Right.
Have we bastardized the dream? Have we made the dream a nightmare?
Yes.
And where do we? Because we're not supposed to have these conversations. But if I teach my kid, the Secret Service, when they train about counterfeit money, they don't train on counterfeit money. They train on the real thing so that when they see counterfeit, they can point it out immediately.
Right.
Why can't we teach our kids about not victimhood, but being a victor? Because if we teach them about that, when they see victimhood, they'll be able to call it out and say, that's not my portion.
They're not allowed to.
Right. That's my point.
They'll be canceled.
But that's why we do it here on Black and White Radio.
That's
Because
right.
I want to teach and build a generation of black people. I don't care what color you are, but specifically black people, that you are not a victim. You are a victor. You can do anything in this world that you put your hand to with hard work, determination, and guts. Stop it. I'm sick of the victims. I could call victim on a lot of stuff in my life, but I choose not to because I'm a victor, because I got God on my side. We'll be right back.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Today I was watching a game show and the winner introduced his beautiful wife. The woman had a facial deformity, but you could tell he meant what he said. It's hurtful that my husband never sees my inner beauty. Gosh, why would you be writing to Dear Abby? Are you telling me things didn't work out?
How could you be married for 41 years and he never tells you you're beautiful? I mean, make it up or lie if you have to.
Maybe he feels that's like a patriarchal construct.
Start your day with Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday mornings starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Did you know most vitamin supplements have a warning label on the back? That's because without the synergy of thousands of nutrients working together that are found naturally in whole fruits and vegetables, vitamins are not balanced. This is why Balance of Nature only uses whole fruits and vegetables, no isolates or synthetic vitamins of any kind. We take a variety of 31 of the highest quality fruits and vegetables and remove the water without changing the rich chemistry. It's then ground to a powder, blended to perfection, and encapsulated, preserving the nutrients and making it easy to get the fruits and vegetables you need. So even though Balance of Nature comes in a capsule and looks like a vitamin, it's very different. Go to balanceofnature.com and for a limited time this summer, get a free fruit and veggies travel set plus $25 off your first order as a preferred customer when you use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dennis Prager. Now you can listen to my show when it's convenient for you and without censorship from big tech. Become a member of the ultimate online community for all things Prager. It's Pragertopia Unlimited. Listen to every radio show over the last 10 years, all commercial free. You can even listen to all my Torah teachings for free. Join today and save 25% off the first year and get a free Pragertopia coffee mug. Go to Pragertopia.com or click the banner at DennisPrager.com.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, commercial property, or even vacant land, let attorney Susan J. Kim step in. She's reliable, responsive, personable, and extremely thorough when helping you deal with an otherwise stressful transaction. Attorney Kim leads with her values and is committed to providing legal services with excellence. To contact Attorney Kim, visit sjkimlaw.com. That's sjkimlaw.com. Whether it's drafting agreements, negotiating contract terms, or closing on a property, Attorney Susan J. Kim can do it all. Over 10 years of experience and her wealth of knowledge tackling complicated legal negotiations and breaking them down into a smooth, easy-to-understand process is what she does best. So let attorney Susan J. Kim step in. To schedule your legal consultation today, visit sjkimlaw.com. That's sjkimlaw.com or call 847-906-3166. Susan J. Kim Attorney at Law is a state of Illinois licensed real estate attorney.
You can't live forever, but your legacy can. For over 185 years, families have trusted Catholic Cemeteries of Chicago with 47 locations throughout Cook and Lake counties to set their legacies in stone. A prepaid cemetery plan locks in today's prices and safeguards against rising inflation. Visit CatholicCemeteryChicago.org or call 708-236-5490 to schedule a free consultation today.
Back to Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560. The Answer. I sound like Walker a little bit there. Walker. I'm live.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Live in the studio with the troublemaker and the prosecutor. Villan, you wanted to make a point before you went to break, right?
Oh, man.
You forgot?
Man, just that quick.
You getting old.
I am getting old. I'm in the heat of the moment, man. When I start talking about some stuff, I'm in the heat of the moment. But I was just going to run it back and say what you were talking about as far as Martin Luther King achieving what we wanted, content of character, and being responsible and people treating us like equals. Well, the left, the hardcore left, isn't going to leave it at that.
Right.
Everything that I talked about before as far as opportunities not being availed to us, they want to push for that and more. That's why they're in an uproar. I was listening to this lady this morning when I got off work. Her name is Pam something. Her show is called Equity and Inclusion.
Where? Oh, on the progressive?
On a progressive station. And all she harped about was how black people will be taken aback because of affirmative action being knocked down. And she said she was talking about the businesses are going to have to force equity and inclusion and diversifying businesses. Otherwise, black people are going to lose opportunity. I'm telling you, they are not going to let this go. They're in a tizzy about this affirmative action being knocked down, and they still think black people haven't gotten the opportunity that we deserve.
You ever read Booker T. Washington's book, Up From Slavery?
No.
Man, one of the best autobiographies I've ever read. And I may read it again. I think I still have it at home. I think I gave it to my cousin to read it. But I just want to read a few quotes from Booker T. Washington, Up From Slavery. He says, I have learned that success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. See, how we define what success is, that's another issue that we had to have a discussion about in the black community, because we think success is getting the big house, getting the big car.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes success is just keeping your family intact. Sometimes success is just not getting divorced. Sometimes there's a lot of ways we can define success. I want to go through a few more of his. Those who are happiest are those who do the most for others. And this is one I love too. I have begun everything with the idea that I could succeed. And I never had much patience. This is me. I've never had much patience with the multitudes of people who are always ready to explain why one cannot succeed.
What you're saying,
Isn't that the battle?
Yeah, that is the battle. But what you're saying right there is like speaking alien to them, keeping your family together. They don't even care about the nuclear family, for one thing.
But when you say they, Verlon,
Uh-oh.
who is they?
Oh, you want to hit me with that one?
No, I do. I want to hear it. I want to know who they are. Are those, you said leftists or communists or socialists? Are they white? Are they black or Latino?
All of them that subscribe to that ideology. It's not just black, Latino, white. All of them.
But I find it interesting how white liberals can always interject themselves right into these conversations, right?
Yeah.
And they're down for the struggle. They're going to be right with you.
We are trained Marxists.
See? And here they are. They're going to tell you what's best for you.
Right. But you know what they call them? White ally. I mean, they literally will. They'll be sitting next to a white guy in the studio.
Right.
And, that show that I, listen to from time to time, the family meeting, they will call them to their face.
They're growing on me, actually.
I've listened to them for a lot of years. I mean, they're reasonable.
They're not as bad as I thought.
Well, listen.
I'm not going to lie to you.
They will disagree with us, but they're not hyperbolic with their disagreement. You could call the show, and they'll, like I say, Eric Grants, he's like a psychologist. He'll try to dissect what you're saying reasonably. They don't like raising their voice, but I do. But they will sit right next to their white counterpart and say, you are my white ally.
What does that mean?
They're in it together to push an agenda.
Right. Like the Axis and the Allies.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm part of the Axis.
Yes.
Right. I got it.
Yeah. So they don't care what
I'm not an ally.
Well, to them, you're an ally.
Oh, well, what would I be, John? If I'm an ally to you guys.
Have to send a submarine to get secret tech. You just have to agree with whatever they say.
I'm talking about a white guy that believes what they believe.
Right. So then I would be an enemy of the state. Then.
You are.
So if I did a T-shirt to sell, what should I say? They? Who is they?
Right. That's not who is they.
Who is they?
That's gonna be my new shirt. Who is they?
Who is they?
We know who they is.
Yeah.
I would tell you like my uncle when I used to try to get him to explain when we had arguments. The youngest uncle, he's the same age as his guy from Blue Island. We used to argue all the time about these issues. I'm a Republican, he's a Democrat, and he'll be like, "Well, they said," and I say, "Who is they?" And he'll look at me and say, "You know who they is." Well, he could never explain it. Yeah. He would just say, "You know who they is."
When John first came to the General Assembly and all the new state reps come out, the new reps will say, they need to start changing stuff around here. I go, you are they. They are you. You're the one you're they now. You're the person, right? So we always talk about they because it's this abstract off here, but they aren't really the ones that are involved in the mix of stuff, that are having real conversations, doing real things, like governing.
Yeah.
Where people want to fight. And so I'm going to go back to that comment we were talking about with Mike Boss.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Boss talked about, as a congressman, he's not a show horse. He's a workhorse. And I hope he talks more about that because I'd never heard that. I don't know if he said it or his comms people did it, but it's the truth. Yeah. Congress has enough AOCs and Matt Gaetzes and MTGs, all of them, on both sides. You need people who are going to actually govern the country. And governing is hard.
It is.
For all of you out there who've never governed, you don't realize how hard it is. Being the minority in a General Assembly is easy. You just get to say no.
Yep.
But as township supervisor, I have to govern. I have a board. I have to represent people, and I have to govern and come together on a budget. And when you have divided government, which usually functions best,
Right.
not right now in the federal world, but it brings in a lot of people who are forced to compromise. And I know, as a rhino, because I'm a rhino, John, right? Because I'm not a total right-wing nut job, but I'm also not AOC.
I'm a lion.
Right. Somewhere in the middle, but you have to govern, and governing is hard, and coming to compromise is hard. Otherwise, there's plenty of congressmen that they don't really care about governing. They know how to say no, and they'll shut the world down, and they don't want to move forward. So
right,
we'll see how that type of stuff moves forward. But
and one of the things I saw, Man on the Street posted all of the things that Mike Boss voted for. You and I both know that the poison pills are always put in the bills, especially when the chamber has two or all three of the chambers. There are certain bills that will not get it will never, a standalone bill will never pass.
The one thing I've learned about D.C. recently is that all of the bills become Christmas tree bills.
Correct.
So the other side cannot tear them apart.
Right.
Because a bill could start in Chairman Boss' committee as an appropriation to give money to a veterans home in Danville. And next thing you know, it gets to the Senate Democrats put all kinds of stuff on it. So they try to work on both sides. So the bill is going to have enough where you have to take a tough vote. Well, guess what? There's stuff in there you need and you want, but you're going to have to give somebody else something. That's the hard part about rock-hard conservatives, John, because they're just going to vote no. Yeah. Like Mary Miller, she votes no. She's no on everything.
I'm going to steal that from you, Christmas
but
tree
you know,
bill.
it is hard to it's much harder when you're in what's called a swing district or a district that a Dem can come in and take you out at any given moment.
Right.
You know, but that becomes the difficulty part about governing, right? Right?
You have to govern.
Yeah. So,
well, you know what's going to happen when you vote for those bills. You're going to get a black eye, just like what you just read.
And
out.
I love Mary Miller too, by the way. I love Congresswoman Mary Miller. You know that.
That's fine. I'm just telling you that when you scream and yell about stuff and you don't participate, then people work around you.
But the hardcore,
nobody will ever approach her or others that are like that because they know that the door really isn't open for a conversation. They're going to vote no. And when she votes with AOC on the same issues, then tell me, aren't they very different? Or are they the same, Verlon?
Oh, well, but if it's what those people want, and so they're okay with that vote. But, you know, the hardcore people like Mark, you know, they're going to give you a black eye for voting for
I get it. Look, I voted against budgets. I was called every name in the book. That's just part of the politics part. But sometimes you have to govern.
Yeah.
And you don't get to do exactly what you want. You're not the corporate chair. You don't get to tell everybody else what to do. It's not that simple. So the rhino is not the enemy of the Republican Party. They are not. I've heard a lot about that recently.
People will argue differently because they would say Mitch McConnell was the worst thing ever, and he needs to
He's
go.
not the worst thing ever.
Mitch McConnell saved the Supreme Court.
He did.
know what?
The whole judicial
And,
system.
yeah,
I'm going to get out of this studio before the conservatives get on their horses and ride in.
Surrounding you right now, dude. We're talking to you.
What he did to Donald Trump, now that's a different thing. And I think that's what people
It's
more,
not just that.
But no, I think that's more what people are
No.
upset with. What is it then?
I know people that don't even care anything about Donald Trump. It's a lot of the things he voted for that will be considered siding with Democrats for a lot of these spending bills. I know people that hate the spending.
Okay, yeah. Well, when he did this right before the new House was to take effect, allowing that bill to pass, he should have never allowed that to happen. I agree with that.
Okay.
He should have allowed Kevin McCarthy to come in and take control of that. Was that the omnibus bill?
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson when you subscribe to the Chicago's Morning Answer podcast, presented by Signature Bank. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts or search for Chicago's Morning Answer on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Fox News, I'm Ted Lindner. The Southwest, including Phoenix, continuing to bake. Day number 23 of 110-plus degree temperatures, and the hot weather expected to stick around and expand.
38 days there where the temperatures have been 100 degrees or better. And when we look long range, now we're looking at the 27th through the 31st. The only place likely to be average or cooler than average is the Pacific Northwest. The heat's going to expand to the north and to the east in the week ahead.
Fox Weather's Craig Herrera. And a Ukrainian drone strike causing a massive explosion at an ammunition depot in Russia-annexed Crimea. The strike forcing the evacuation of nearby homes, and the latest attack since the Kremlin canceled a landmark grain deal. As Ukrainian forces grind to retake its occupied territories, it comes as Ukrainian officials reported Russian attacks on 11 regions across the country had killed at least 8 civilians. America's listening to Fox News.
Do you know the number one complaint homeowners have about remodeling? How long it takes. Rick here from Forever Remodeling. Home remodels that were supposed to take weeks often stretch out to months or even up to a year. That's because many remodelers bite off more than they can chew. They take on too many jobs, they get spread too thin, and you end up frustrated, waiting an eternity for your project to get done. Call Forever Remodeling instead. From start to finish, we show your remodel the attention it deserves. We limit the number of jobs we do at one time. This lets us dedicate ourselves to getting your project done on schedule while delivering a result that's better than you imagined. For a free consultation, call Forever Remodeling at 847-809-3355 or visit foreverremodeling.com. We do kitchens, baths, basements, additions, and more. That's the number 4everremodeling.com.
What does it mean to be pro-life? Picture women living in a welcoming, family-like setting during and after an unexpected pregnancy, going to school or working, learning life skills. Picture a caring Christian staff who walk through these challenges, providing support and guidance. Picture a community of faith-filled supporters who answer the call to support life. That's pro-life at Redeeming Life's Maternity Home Ministry. We are a Christian organization founded to support pregnant women in unexpected pregnancies by offering a home, help, and hope during pregnancy and up to a year postpartum. We are opening a maternity home in suburban Chicago in 2023 and welcome you to learn more about how you can support God's gift of life by supporting women who courageously choose life for their unborn babies. Visit rlom.org for info and opportunities to help furnish this new maternity house and provide a home, help, and hope. Get involved to support life. Visit rlom.org today.
This is Seth Leibson of AM 960 The Patriot for townhall.com. Free speech at our nation's public universities is constrained today, especially for conservatives. That means learning from a diverse range of thought is diminished and removed from academic and intellectual credibility. Earlier this year at Arizona State University, Dennis Prager, Charlie Kirk, and others were invited to speak on the topic of health, wealth, and happiness. 39 professors wrote a public letter condemning Prager and Kirk, claiming Prager, author of Why the Jews, and Kirk were white nationalists. The event did take place, but with tremendous security measures. Then, the two administrators who put the event together were fired. ASU thinks this was all fine, but defamation and punitive consequences for freedom of speech at a public university is not freedom of speech. It is punishment and retribution for speech, and unconstitutional. Dennis and I were fortunate enough to testify to this effect this week before the Arizona legislature. There should be consequences for ASU's deplorable behavior. I'm Seth Leibson.
Publicpolicy.pepperdine.edu.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the troublemaker and the prosecutor. Go ahead. Is the same subject?
No, it's about the community, though. It's the black
Okay,
community.
go ahead.
Yeah, I want to mention something to you guys real quick. I want to see if you think this is wasteful spending. It's called Manor Care. It's going to be put in Garfield Park. It's going to be low income housing. It's going to be $13 million for 44 units. Okay, it's going to be put, across the street from Garfield Park. Do you think that's money well spent? $13 million for 44 family units.
Where?
In Chicago, Garfield Park, or right across the street from Garfield Park.
Good question.
Do you think that's? Do you think that's it?
It seems pretty expensive, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, for only 44 units.
Right. And so, is this brand new construction?
This is going to be brand new.
Well, it seems expensive, but
low housing.
Low income housing.
Low income housing.
Who qualifies then?
People in the city.
No.
There's an income qualification.
Right. Is it Section 8 low income? Is it low income based off of something else?
It's gonna be a mix, like Section 8, or if you work a low paying job, you only got to pay a certain percentage of.
And is the city doing this?
This is the city. This is one of Brandon Johnson's babies.
Right. So again, when you overspend on something, this goes back to when Section 8 was spread out and the vouchers, and then people could travel around. Don't you think it might be easier to have more affordable housing? I don't mean affordable as in the actual term affordable. Why wouldn't you build housing where you could make it go further?
Like where?
Anywhere else but in the city of Chicago, where you have prevailing wages, you have the city of Chicago and all their environmental concerns. By the time they build the thing and the federal government builds
$50 million.
It's 5 years from now.
Well, they don't want people to be displaced. They want to keep people in Chicago, and they want to make it affordable.
So is this for the incoming immigrants?
No. This is for just regular citizens.
It seems very expensive, and it takes a lot of time to do that. And how many people does that house?
44 families.
44 families.
Okay.
So a family of four, basically.
So I don't know. You can probably buy a house in Elmhurst for $1 million. So if you gave each one of $1 million, right, they'd all have a house, right? 44 families would have a house.
Well, if $1 million at $13 million, well, $14 million, that'd be 14.
A move out there,
14 families.
But you know
44.
what I'm saying. So I'm saying 4 people per family.
Okay.
Right. So look, you can go and find apartments elsewhere. This is what happens in poor economies. It costs a lot more to build.
Yeah.
There isn't other places to house people. And if you're looking for affordable housing, if you can't find it in Chicago, then you're going to have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's more important to have the housing, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Than to be crammed up into a 1-bedroom apartment when you have 8 people living in there.
Rahm Emanuel and Daley, Daley before Rahm, they believed in porting out, but they gave you the option to port back in after a year, but they was hopefully you stayed in Iowa or wherever else. Brandon Johnson doesn't believe in porting people out. He wants to keep you in Chicago and help you be a more productive citizen here.
I see the fight coming for the illegal immigrants that are here and those low income housing. I see that fight happening too. Just watch. And I see the price tag going well above $13 million.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it goes well.
Sure, that's just
to your point, all of the different environmental studies. Is this good soil to build a house on? Will it cause any environmental concern? I mean,
what's interesting? All these vacant buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't the city going to reclaim those vacant buildings, build homes, and give somebody a home and say, look, here's your home. Here's an opportunity for you.
Yeah.
The West Side. Why can't you build up all those apartments on the West Side?
No, there's so much disinvestment out there. That's right. You want to invest.
Oh,
yeah.
You want to prioritize.
It's a jobs bill.
It's a jobs bill.
Remember, everything is about a job.
So where's this building going to happen?
In Garfield Park.
Oh, in Garfield Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen, but it makes more sense to reclaim some of those properties that have been abandoned, that are used as crack houses, and prostitution and gang places, and restore some sense of ownership and pride for people that you could actually rebuild, putting those same union workers to work on the West Side, right? Doesn't that a win-win?
It looks like Bill James just did the math. He says $300,000 per unit. That's a little expensive, isn't it? In Garfield Park, $300,000 to build each unit. Yeah. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, but
depends how much it is per square foot, how big the units are, and all that. Because really, that's what everything is based off. But new construction is expensive.
Yeah.
When are they gonna rebuild the West Side?
Who's they?
The people in charge, the Democrats. When
I
are they
want
gonna
that
start?
shirt.
Who is they? Who's they?
Who's they?
When are
Should I put
they gonna
who
invest?
is or who's they?
No, who is
The
they?
difference at this point
Who
doesn't
is
make.
they?
All right, let's move. I want to move. I want to get into a couple more things real quick. I don't know if you saw President Trump use his son in an ad. He says in an effort to level the playing field, Barron Trump will debate Joe Biden. So you know what the left said? Barron Trump is now fair game. Now, Reboletta, you and I both know in politics, kids should be off limits. Barron Trump did not put himself or get himself involved in politics. His dad did.
How old is he now?
He's 17. Should he be left out of this, even by Trump? In my opinion.
All kids should be left out of it.
Yeah.
Your kids were left out of it. My
Yeah.
son was left out of it. They are. We choose a lifestyle. You live in it, and they have to live through it, the hard and the good and the bad. But Barron Trump should not be part of anybody's discussion. And shame on the people who constantly bring him or anybody else's kids into that arena.
Yeah. Well said. Shame on them. We'll be right back.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
Well, I've been taking it for some time. We saw the ad, and we thought we would give it a try. And I noticed after the first month, we had more energy, and we just felt better. I told my doctor, too, and she said, this sounds like a really good, healthy product for you to be taking. We plan to take it for life.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. For a limited time this summer, get $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fruits and veggies travel set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
TV news. It's a love-hate relationship. Well, let's be honest, more hate. We agree. That's why we're different. Salem News Channel has assembled the greatest collection of conservative minds all in one place. Home to Charlie Kirk, Hugh Hewitt, Eric Metaxas, and more. There's finally a place on TV for lovers of freedom like you. Watch anytime on any screen, free 24/7. Find what you're looking for at snc.tv. That's snc.tv.
As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
If you're a local business and ready for the next step, visit surroundchicago.com right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Visit surroundchicago.com today.
Gatto Industrial Platers, Inc. is the specialist in zinc and zinc nickel plating. Gatto is big, they're good, and they're easy to work with. Their high production rack plating line has up to a 27-foot capacity to handle any zinc plating requirement. Gatto's 210,000 square foot facility can process 300 tons per day and offers complete custom packaging with available pickup and delivery in the Chicago metro area by Gatto's own fleet of trucks. All of Gatto's products are inspected and certified to ensure that each customer is receiving the best and most cost-effective plating protection. Gatto is home to King Kong, the largest zinc plating line in North America that can zinc plate parts up to 27 feet long and weighing up to 8,000 pounds. For a quote and fast 24 to 48-hour service, call George Gatto Jr. or George Gatto Sr. at 1-800-290-1223. That's 1-800-290-1223. 1-800-290-1223.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back. Black and Right Radio on AM 560, The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the troublemaker and the prosecutor, Dennis Rebeletti. Yeah. Well, you wanted to say something else?
You know, I do. I want to go back to this Mike Bost and Darren Bailey stuff. Why doesn't this show invite both the congressman and the former gubernatorial candidate to come on and talk about stuff.
I would love it.
I think it would be a great opportunity for them to distinguish themselves in front of their constituents, who a lot listen, and the folks that are going to participate, because you got to raise money, right?
Yeah.
You have to travel the state. You have to travel the country to raise money. So while people are busy posting things on Facebook, because we all got to get on Facebook, the keyboard warriors are out there. This is where the rubber meets the road, man. And I'm on Twitter. You can tweet at me or whatever you guys
He's
call
not
it.
on the grassroots committee.
I'm not on the grassroots committee because I was one of the grassroots people. I started out 31 years ago, and I've seen people like Mike Boss come up, lose 3 times as a state representative, keep at it, and come from the grassroots and rise up through the challenges in his community as a firefighter, as a business owner,
As a Marine,
a family man, a grandfather, a very proud grandfather, a great family, but a man who has distinguished service to this country and to this state. And to post a bunch of nonsense on Facebook about all the evils of Mike Boss, that's chicken stuff, you know. Come out here and debate. Just
You scared me for a minute there.
I wanted to say something else.
You're
You're
Italian, so I know you talk.
See, it's all about you, I tell you. See,
No,
if you people,
can I just inflect here a little bit? He's Italian. He would have said it with his hand.
Yeah, that's true.
right.
That's true.
But
But the word would follow.
I think I thought you were going to have both of them on your show when you were
we were supposed to have them both.
Oh,
yeah,
but only one was on, right?
Yeah, I don't. Now, I don't know why. I'll ask Amy what happened.
But I think this would be a great place because both of you know, both of them know you personally,
and you know I'll be fair,
and you'll be very fair.
Yeah.
And if the troublemaker's here, I know he'll be very fair.
They have to come into the studio.
Yeah.
I think that'll be too hard.
Okay,
to
here it
manage
is.
on
Here it
the
is.
phone.
Representative Bailey, Congressman Boss,
come out to the boat.
Come on the boat.
I love
Come on
it.
the boat.
September 9th.
Come
Let's
on
get
the
them
boat.
out to the boat.
Yes.
You have your event.
3 hours.
Well, we'll hope the congressman could be in the state because
Yeah.
we don't know what his schedule.
Well, that's
is gonna
true.
Be, but
Just trying to keep both of them from running away. On
Right.
you.
that's right.
You know,
But we're all
that's
Republicans
amazing.
here, right? I look. I like Darren. He's a nice enough guy. I met him on the campaign trail. I wish he would have been our governor right now.
Same here.
But I like Mike Boss. He's a very dear friend, and I think it would be better to hear 2 Republicans that are conservative people actually have a debate about the issues facing this state and this country.
And here's the deal: I'll actually allow you guys to debate. Have
Can I be here too? Then
come to the boat.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be on the boat.
You're gonna be on the boat.
And you know what I'm going to do?
What's that?
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call Sean, and I'm going to get some real conservative American questions to. Well, he doesn't like being called a conservative, but I'm just
Right.
You know,
I thought you were calling
I
Sean.
can't think of another.
And he calls himself constitutionalist.
Well, sometimes. But I'm gonna get some real constitutional questions to ask both of them. If you can get both of them on the show, I am gonna call him and I'm gonna ask him to give me a list of questions to ask these 2 guys.
So there it is, Congressman Boss, Senator Bailey. I'm opening up an invitation for you both to either come on the cruise September 9th from 4 to 7 p.m. You get to talk to 100+ people on the boat when I'm not interviewing you or we're not having a debate. We can determine how much time, or I can do them separately if they don't want to go head to head.
Or, if they just can't separate out 4 hours,
right,
which is understandable.
Right.
We could figure out we're on every week.
Right. But I want them in studio. I would love. I prefer them if they can. I prefer them sitting right here in studio.
Yeah.
So, and you guys
We
know
should
me.
be able to figure that out.
I think that could be doable. I mean, I know that the congressman would love to come up here. I know he loves to come on your show, John.
Yeah.
I know he does a lot of traveling though, because
does.
he's also trying to help other Republicans get elected all over the country as chairman of the VA, as a veteran, trying to help out those other candidates out there. But I think it's a great thing, and I think Huff Daddy's right because you may not be able to come in for 3 hours, but they may be able to come in for an hour and make sure you can have your own format, have equal time.
Yep.
You guys already had the questions, and by the way, you guys wouldn't give them the questions,
No.
would you?
Oh no.
Not like other debates
not
where-
up front.
No way.
All
They will
right.
not get the questions.
No.
And then let all of those people who are rhinos and conservatives or constitutionalists, let them have a chance to call in because this is really for a fight for the heart and soul of the Republican Party here in Illinois because this race, to me, makes a big difference for the future of our country and of this state. So,
and it's going to be a hot race.
Absolutely. It's going to be talked about throughout the nation.
Tier
and
1.
Talked about here. It's a Tier 1 race.
Tier 1 race.
The NRCC, the National Republican Congressional Committee, is going to be all in for Mike Bost. We're going to see where President Trump lies in all of this.
And then, you know what? Congressman can send this video to the Trump camp.
They can. and so
wow.
And Senator Bailey has a huge following out of Effingham.
Yes, he does.
Look, I'm familiar with that area. I went to school in Charleston.
Yeah.
So, I give him props for what he's done as a farmer and a businessman, as a candidate.
As an
stepping up.
amazing father, as an amazing grandfather, as an amazing businessman.
So look, we have both
I
of them
can't
are
say
good
nothing
people.
negative about Darren Bailey.
That's right. So
nothing.
They're both good people.
Yep.
I think it's time that we have an old-fashioned discussion about the policies and the merits of things.
Yeah.
And I think this would be a great format for them to do that.
And aren't those the two competing visions for the state of Illinois?
I really think it is.
In some regards.
And when you talk about rock-solid Republicans, but I think there's also a chance for them to talk about governance.
Yeah.
Right? And so how would you vote on a bill? You just said, talk about this list of things that's been posted on Facebook. Why did you vote on that? Well, why did you vote on this then? Because Senator Bailey has a voting record as well. So
Sounds good. I love it. I think we should make it happen. Jose, let's do it. Stephanie, call Darren. I can already pick up the phone. Then I'm sure, prosecutor, you can get boss here. So let's do it. I'm game for it. We'll be right back.
All right.
Don't put your blame on me.
When you take the time to really get to know your body, you find that the root causes of its aches and pains are usually simple. The older we get, the more exercise we undertake, and the more injuries we sustain, the more inflammation our bodies suffer from. It's so simple. And my answer to that pain is Relief Factor, which I discovered years ago and take every single day to great effect. It helps the body to fight off inflammation, and I've never found anything that worked better in my life. I can't recommend it enough. 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it works for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference. ReliefFactor.com.
Here's something you've never heard before.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from Simply Safe Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents, expert advice.
And there's number 4.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Switch your attitude. Go ahead, level.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the troublemaker and the prosecutor. The prosecutor, you're acting more like the troublemaker today, though.
Yeah. I'm going to be on Verlon's list next week.
I want to go a little different route. I want to give a shout out to Illinois Conservative Union and Carol Davis and Judicial Watch. Did you hear about it?
I did not.
Illinois settles voter roll lawsuit, agrees to make voter registration list information public to Illinois Conservative Union. So shout out to them and the work they did.
Is that made public like a lot of FOIA requests are made public with massive amounts of black?
I don't think they're going to make it public.
Everything.
I don't think they're going to make it public to the people, the voters' rolls. I think it's just to them. I think the lawsuit states that they can now have access.
Wasn't there a county somewhere that released its voter rolls and everything, but the first and last initials were redacted? Literally every bit of information except first and last initial.
So is this going to be the first step to cleaning up the voter rolls?
Well, that was wasn't that already something that Illinois did to actually clean up the rolls?
Right. Well, the rolls are always in flux, so you just never know who's on the rolls and why they're on the rolls. You would think that it would be pretty simple to clean the rolls, right?
Yeah. Go talk with the Secretary of State.
With this automatic vote by mail stuff where you check the box, people are telling me, they have homes that were previously rented. They're getting ballots from people that haven't lived there in 10 years. So there is a problem. That's the kind of stuff that really needs to be taken care of. And then I would give a shout out to everybody who's going to start, as Republicans who will start using automatic vote by mail and involve themselves in races, not only in November, but in when my township election, our other elected offices, because they are coming. They're going to change the face of local elections. They're trying to take over all the school boards, everything else. So Republicans cannot sit on the sidelines. And that means rhinos. That means conservatives. That means constitutionalists or libertarians, like for Huff Daddy. We need everybody to come out and vote.
Yeah.
And if you're not, I guarantee you, and I have the numbers, and I've talked to you about them, and I want to come talk another day about it, but the shout out is to start getting other people to actually vote by mail in races you normally wouldn't vote in.
But Dennis, what was the whole point of having to when somebody moved, they have to contact the Secretary of State within 10 days if it's
right when you like your driver's license.
Right, your driver's license. Wasn't that the point of that to help with the voter?
No,
I mean it would make sense if the two departments would communicate.
Well, because the Secretary of State needs to communicate with you,
and they don't communicate with many people.
But I mean, just like anything else, there could be databases, but we don't know who's going to be on the database, right?
Right. Just like they don't like to leads. They don't like leads to be.
That's right. So you want to keep, just like if you have a court case, you need to keep up with that by changing your address. Somebody's got to be able to communicate with you. So why is the circuit clerk, or why does the county clerk have so much problems?
Yeah.
And in DuPage County, we have a county clerk, who's a Democrat, by the way, who was just reelected, who refuses to come in front of the county board.
Wow.
To have to do line item changes and pay and get the bills.
Even
paid.
in front of Deb Conroy?
In front of the new chairman, the Democratic board, and the state's attorney said she doesn't have to get approval from them for her budget.
Wow.
And she'll make all the changes she needs to internally, and told everybody there that she would simply ask them to come to her office to discuss the issue, not in public.
Okay,
so
wait, real quick. I got to stop you real quick. Villan.
Yes.
Got something to talk to you about.
Come on.
George Michael.
Oh.
Could return touring 7 years after his death as a hologram.
I was just.
It's coming.
I was thinking about that the other day.
I had to get that before you. George Michael's coming back, baby.
I can't wait. I hope they do it at the Sphere in Las Vegas because I'm gonna miss the U2 concert because they do it in November. My job won't let me take another vacation to January. Hey, everybody, don't forget, listen to Belly of the Beast right after the show.
Thanks for coming in, Troublemaker. Prosecutor, thank you.
Thank you.
Daddy, thanks for always making me sound I'm halfway intelligent. Again, today's my 23rd anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Right, thank you. blackandwhiteradio.com and get some merch. See you next week.
A senior project manager is wanted in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Winfield Consulting specializes in the pharmaceutical industry, providing problem-oriented solutions and data services for the analysis and reporting of in vivo and in vitro studies, as well as phase 1 through 3 clinical trials and NDA submissions. Job duties: plan and direct the operations of the company, monitor the overall project management, manage the projects for global operations and implementation, define the project success criteria, develops